Steckley, the quickest time in this group. Benedict, Sheridan, Steckley, Shepard, Schwarzenberg, Gressel, Della Riva, Shaw, Gibbons, and Ricky are top 10.
Strangely, group number 1. So the slow group represents the pole position. The second slowest group now represents second position. The second quickest group, if you will, I believe there's only one more group, represents third. So everything has been turned on its head at the moment. Final group is on the racetrack now. The first car coming out, the number 3 out of Dorchester, the APC Auto Parts Center's Canusa Automotive Warehousing Miami Muscle number 3. That's Shea Gemmel. The 89C, the ever popular London Recreational Racing, Mannheim Apex Oil, Caldecott Millwright Services sponsored entry from Plattsville, Sean Chenoweth. Driver who's looking for redemption after last race at Delaware Speedway from Oro Medonte, the Caldecott Millwright Services. Number 31W is Rick Spencer Walt. And last but not least, in the number 21 out of London, the Global Warranty, ToyotaTown.com, number 21, it's Matt Pritico.
Former winners here at Flamboro include Dale Shaw, Sean Chenoweth, Gressel with 2. Brendan Watson won here twice, Andy Camrath. Victory here a couple years ago. Matt Pritico's won here once. Schwarzenberg's won here once. And, of course, that Steckley victory from last year with the all-time winningest driver who could knock off J.R. Fitzpatrick. He's got 3 victories at Flamboro. And, Adam, I believe there's one more group after this because we haven't seen that 84 come out. Josh Stoddy will be in that last group. And as well, we haven't seen the
Treyton Lapsovich.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. You look at the car count and think, oh, 21 cars. I wish there was more. Who else do you want? Who else is a player in the world of late model racing? I mean, we wish Connor James was back in the 4 machine. Absolutely. But this is the cream of the crop, the best of the best. This is who I want to watch on a Saturday night. And
the only other guys I could think of are maybe a couple guys that are racing weekly somewhere, you know, but
Matt Box, I always want to see him. And you know what? At Delaware Speedway, he showed speed. He looked like the Matt Box of old. Super happy for him. So wherever he chooses to race the rest of the year, I'm going to be excited to see how he does. But by and large, we've got the players here.
Should be good here tonight.
New fast time. Shea Gemmel, the 15.032 by 1/100th of a second, knocks Danny Benedict off the top of the chart. He's going to be in the inversion just the way he wanted.
And for Gemmel, definitely has a lot of laps here at Flamboro. In addition to cutting his teeth at Delaware, he did do a lot of racing over the years in that late model here at Flamboro. So used to this tough third-mile track. And
the 3 of Shea Gemmel is at the top. The 54, Danny Benedict, is second. 52, Jake Sheridan is third. Kyle Steckley in the 22 is fourth. Gord Shepard in the 10S is fifth. Then it's Rick Spencer Walt in the 31W, the 86 of Billy Schwarzenberg, the 81 of Andrew Gressel, the 74 of Eric Della Riva, and the 83 of Dale Shaw. Here comes the final group, Jamie.
First of all, it's Ridgeway Lubricant Machine out of Chesley, Ontario, also sponsored by Canadian Flat Roof Systems and APC Grey Bruce. That is Josh Primetime Stoddy out of Chesley, Ontario. And the Cambridge Rigging H2Go Power Wash ATV Depot Machine. That is your point leader, J.R. Fitzpatrick out of Ayr. In the Tricor Base Services, number 32 from Grimsby, Treyton Lapsovich, I believe, in 11th place finish yesterday. Molson yesterday in Toronto.
It was quite a race. It was a phenomenal battle back in that section. About 6th place all the way back to 15th. Was a ton of fun to watch.
And one more driver in this session, 15th in points, the 29. J-Bex Contracting, SMG Motorsports entry. That's Flying Ryan Kimball out of Norwood, Ontario. Field now under the green. We'll see who can knock Shea Gemmel out, and can somebody find 0.2 of a second to break a record. I would guess at this point the record's not going down. We'll see.
It looked like it was at first, right? You see a 15 flat by a driver in the first session. you think we're in trouble. But J.R. Fitzpatrick, man, he's been so fast. If anyone can do it, it's the driver of that 84 machine. He loves it here at Flamboro. Treyton Lapsovich, also an epic qualifying driver.
Treyton's got a bunch of poles over the years in APC competition. Epic Raceware Pole Award on the line. J.R. Fitzpatrick, with that last win, moved into a tie for second all-time in series wins. Brandon Watson, your number one all-time winner in the APC series with 19. Andrew Gressel and J.R. Fitzpatrick tied for second at 7 now. And it's going to be Fitzpatrick, the first one of this group, climbing up the leaderboard. He times in fourth. How about that? Kimball with a 15:019.
Ryan Kimball to the top of the charts as the white flag flies.
Stoddy gets in the top 10 safely as well.
Treyton Lapsovich has not yet cracked the top 10. That's a big story for the moment. Josh Stoddy going to wind up 6th, unless someone can knock him down. J.R. Fitzpatrick with the top 5 run. Lapsovich not in the top 10. Wow. Flying Ryan Kimball with a time of 15.019. But folks, listen to this. The top 13 cars separated by 15/100ths of a second. The top 17 cars separated by less than 0.2 of a second. I mean, we're talking parity. Unbelievable. Let's take you through the rundown. Ryan Kimball in the number 29 with a fast time. Shea Gemmel is second in the 3. Danny Benedict is third in the 54. The 52 of Jake Sheridan is fourth. The 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick is fifth.
Josh Stoddy times in 6th in the 17 machine. Kyle Steckley finishes 7th. Gord Shepard in the 10S will wind up 8th. 9th place result for the 31W of Rick Spencer Walt, and finishing up in the top 10, Billy Schwarzenberg in the 86.
First car not in that inversion, and it really only cost him a couple of positions because Andrew Gressel, who qualified 11th, would still only start 8th or 9th in the inversion, so that doesn't hurt him too badly. Eric Dallariva in the 74 is 12th. The 83 of Dale Shaw, 13th. The 32, Treyton Lapsovich, 14th. Tom Gibbons in the number 10 is 15th.
89C of Sean Chenoweth chimed in 16th. Matt Pritico posted the 17th quickest time. Blair Wickett was 18th. Jordan House 19th, and Jade Franklin rounded out the top 20.
So spoiler alert, I'll tell you who's 21st. James Horner in that 79. 0.4 seconds off. That is a tightly bunched field. Spoiler alert, J.R. Fitzpatrick is going to start 10th. And I believe we'll see.
I think he's going to be 9th because I don't think Shepard's made all the races.
There you go.
So this is where that perfect attendance comes in. So Shepard will be 10th, and I think you should see JR in 9th.
I was only thinking of Treyton Lapsovich as a part-timer, and you're right, Gord Shepard has not been to all of them. A bad crash at Sunset Speedway.
And I think, ironically, we saw Ryan Kimball set the fast time, and I think he's going to end up on the pole once they do the invert.
Should be Ryan Kimball and Jake Sheridan, I believe, up at the front. But that's the fun. We'll see what they send us when they send it to us. It's going to be a great show. There's a lot of drivers hungry. There's a lot of drivers who are hard chargers. They're going to be deep in the field. It's going to be fun to watch. Let's take a quick break on G-Force TV. When we come back, it'll be time for TQ Midgets and Mini Stocks.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Welcome back to Flamboro Speedway. Here's how they're going to line up for this mini stock 50-lap event.
Starting on the pole from Delaware, Ontario, in the Tall Man Promo Racing sponsored entry, it's the 92 of Kyle Neumeister. Starting to his outside in the 76 car from Burlington, Ontario, in the GM Electric Hager Crane Rentals sponsored entry, it's the 76 of Sean Taylor. Third will be the 18 of Cole Quinton from Orangeville, Ontario, in the Spira Fire Protection sponsored entry. To his outside in the 16 car is going to be Mike Thompson from Hamilton, Ontario. In fifth is the 07 of Michael Kenny from Kitchener, Ontario, in the Macha Movers sponsored entry. To his outside, the 77 of Mike Hooper, the 34 of Chris Pendlebury, the 77 of Mike Hooper, the 45 of Caitlin Wallace, the 98 of RJ Crotu, and the 05 of David Goodacre round out the field as they are underway, as the 76 of Sean Taylor flashes by back into turn 1 and 2 on the outside of the 92 of Kyle Neumeister. Neumeister joining us all the way from Delaware, Ontario, here tonight at Flamboro Speedway.
Sean Taylor using the extreme outside in that number 76, a regular here at Flamboro for a number of years. Neumeister, he is fast everywhere he goes in that 92.
Well, that 18 of Cole Quinton getting up on the wheel, the sophomore driver, making the move from karts up to the big cars, or almost big cars, of mini stocks. Back last year, captured a few feature wins, and he's a digger. He's going after Neumeister in that 92, trying to get that Spire Mustang to work on the bottom.
At the front of the field, though, the 76 of Sean Taylor is continuing to work that high line, trying to make a move stick around the 92 of Neumeister. Taylor, a multiple feature time winner here this season at Flamboro Speedway, one of our regulars. He's continuing to see if he can make it work here in the 50-lap main event here for the mini stocks tonight.
And Adam, Sean Taylor, he used to race super stocks here, or street stocks here, correct? The 76? Or am I getting him confused with Arnott?
I think you're thinking of Arnott.
Okay.
I think Sean Taylor's always run mini stocks, but what I love that he's doing, he is using up the tires on Neumeister the longer he can keep him pinned to the bottom. And over the course of the 50 laps, we'll talk about some of these drivers. We didn't get to some of the sponsors, and we apologize for that. Everyone deserves to have their sponsors listed, so we got lots of time to get to it.
Taylor drops back into second in that 76 car. You'll see he runs a bit of a unique line. He enters super high into turns 3 and turn 1, trying to drive that 76 machine off the bottom side of the racetrack. You can see him there entering super high. Even though sometimes the preferred line is not the top, Taylor tends to get a good run coming off the top through the middle of the turn, and apexes down on the bottom and gets a great run off the bottom side of both turns of the speedway.
I know we love getting those sponsors out there. The 45, he's sponsored by Dairy Queen, eh?
Caitlin Wallace, yeah. DQ Brent,
yeah.
Mad respect.
My favorite car right there.
Yep, you got it.
We go for the BHB, Adam. You know what that is?
What's that?
That's the big honkin' Blizzard. Don't mess around. Just get the big one.
You know what? I try to cut back, but as soon as they put a drive-through at Dairy Queen, I'm like, this is a sign from above that I am supposed to eat lunch there.
Yeah, Caitlin Wallace in that 45 machine from Mount Pleasant, Ontario, and the Ken Wallace Contracting Dairy Queen Brant Canesville Tire Discounter sponsored entry. She ended up on the podium a couple weeks ago. First time on the podium. She finished third in both features here, and a great run for the 45 car.
And it's a Dairy Queen story, but it's a racing story too. If you ever get the Blizzard, you get them to put cone dip in. Like
really?
the chocolate that they dipped a cone in. I learned that from DJ Kennington in Martinsville.
I was going to say, how is that a racing story? What a battle. Sean Taylor continuing to work the outside. He's nosed out ahead of Neumeister. Cole Quinton's got to be wondering, I'm running really good, but I've got nowhere to go.
Quinton kind of stuck behind the leaders, kind of with nowhere to go. Like you said, Adam, Taylor continuing to use that outside line. Like I said, that 76 car likes to use the top side of this speedway. He's continuing to try and make it work here to see if he can complete that pass on the 92 of Neumeister.
We were talking about how this might be a one-groove racetrack here tonight, but the folks in the mini stocks getting it done. Neumeister on the inside and the 76 up high.
I'll tell you, Jamie, this is a two-groove racetrack, but both drivers in both grooves have to cooperate. There's room, but there's a little bit of give and take that needs to happen, and that's what we're seeing right now. Fantastic battle.
Now, with 36 to go, there's a lot of give and take. With 6 to go, it's a lot of take.
We had last night at Ashweekend, we had a $1,000 to win mini stock race, and people said, why, they drive crazy because it's $1,000 to win. They drive crazy because they're race car drivers and they're on a racetrack.
Let those guys for a race for $5 in a blizzard, they drive crazy.
Still on the Dairy Queen talk.
I have a feeling that one might last. That topic may last through the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see still the leaders continuing to battle side by side. In third is that 18 car of Cole Quinton. Quinton in that Spira fire protection sponsored entry. Just behind him in fourth in the 16 car, that's Mike Thompson from Hamilton, Ontario, in the Fonthill Butcher and Banker Pub Tatra Shoe Speed Composite sponsored entry. He's sitting there in fourth position, kind of in the same spot as the 18 of Cole Quinton. Not a whole lot of room, kind of just biding his time here, running around, seeing if there's a lane that opens up for that 16 car.
Even Sean Taylor, running the outside groove the way he is, will be working that car a little bit harder than some of the others. There is one optimal line around the racetrack. It's not the one Sean Taylor's running right now. It is the one that Cole Quinton and Mike Thompson are running. It'll take a long time.
I don't know if you wear your tires out anymore running that top groove than you do the bottom. I mean, it's...
You don't. Except when you're running beside someone for that long, because it forces you to jump back to the throttle a little bit quicker because you want to keep that position. By himself on the outside, you're saving tire, you're saving brakes up on the outside, but whenever you're side by side with somebody, you're using your brakes and your tire and your throttle just a little bit more.
And just because we're planning ahead, we got done the race here earlier this year. It was still there was still sunlight. The sun hadn't set when we left. The Dairy Queen in Brantford on the way home open till 10:30. I've already checked it out.
Attaboy.
You can see Taylor continues to lead here a little bit further in the pack. In fifth place solidly is that 34 car from Kitchener, Ontario, in the Can-Do Homes London Recreational Racing Corwin Tool sponsored entry. That's Chris Pendlebury. Chris was here a few times, haven't seen him recently, but so far solidly sitting in the fifth position in that 34 machine.
Caitlin Wallace had fallen back just a little bit in the 45, but she's closing in on Mike Hooper in that 77. So it's a great four-car battle deep in the field. It's a great battle towards the front of the field as Cole Quinton has put a move on Neumeister.
Yeah, Quinton has got around Neumeister. Now he's going to set sail and try to reel in your leader, Sean Taylor. 27 to go, and some cool drone footage. Got to be careful flying the drone here at Flamboro because there's that one wire that crosses the racetrack, but our drone guy was getting under that wire. He's doing good.
Abby's amazing.
He's got the same kind of talent wheeling that drone that these guys do behind the wheel of the race cars.
Definitely some great drone shots. You see the leaders work around the lap car. That's the 98 of RJ Crow2. RJ from Guelph and the J Raps Kenny Painting Sherwin-Williams sponsored entry. Good to see him out here as he's one of our weekly competitors as they look to be halfway home here. Is continuing to lead the way, the 76 of Sean Taylor.
And our drone guy he said that before the end of the year he wants to fly it through Bill Zardo Sr.'s wing.
Well, we've challenged him to go through a dirt sprint car wing as well, and he listens to the broadcast, so we can challenge him to certain things, and he really has to step up to the plate because that's the makeup of Abby.
A little bit further in the field, the battle is on the 07 of Michael Kenny in that sixth spot. Kenny all the way from Kitchener, Ontario, in the Matra Movers Laco Auto listable sponsored entry. And just behind him, the 7 tonight, that's driven by Bobby Mercer. Mercer usually in that 2 car that you see here weekly at Flamboro Speedway. He's from Dundas, Ontario, sponsored by Blue Street Contracting, West Valley Automotive. Good to see him out here in the 50 lap invitational and right behind him, the 77 of Mike Hooper. Hooper coming to us from Hamilton, Ontario, in the Epic Racewear Retail Design Group. Jimmy's small engine sponsored entry. Lots of weekly competitors here that are out at the 50-lap Invitational here at Flamboro Speedway as a part of the APC United Late Model Series.
Hooper's getting a really good run through the middle of the corner. Watch Bobby Mercer go into the turn and watch the difference in Hooper. Hooper will kind of go in low, let the car shoot up a little bit, and he's able, okay, that time he ran almost the identical line to Bobby Mercer in front of him, but a great battle. And I really do think Neumeister, all those laps working the bottom groove, driving down right onto the flat of the racetrack, had to have overheated his right front tire.
Yeah, you can see Neumeister kind of dropping back from that lead 3-pack at the front of the field. A little bit further back, though, still the 77 of Mike Hooper trying to make a move on that 7 machine of Bobby Mercer. And like we said earlier, just behind them, the 45 of Caitlin Wallace. She's creeped back into that picture. Some great racing action here in the mini stock division.
I'll tell you who's creeping right now is that 18, the Spire Fire Protection, P to Pit machine, Cole Quinton, Ontario's fastest ginger. He is reeling in Taylor. He's got it down to just a hair over a second.
Now, is that factual? Is he the fastest ginger?
He could be.
Per cylinder. Per cylinder. I want to make sure we don't give false information here on G-Force TV. Sweetheart of a kid, though. Just a fantastic young man.
Yeah, he was here at our fan appreciation, and the lineup for his machine was definitely long. Great interaction with fans here with that 18 of Cole Quinton. All the fans loved him, and so far he's putting a good run together in second place, trying to reel in that 76 of Sean Taylor.
He got to about a second back, and he just kind of stalled right there. So don't know if Taylor maybe is minding that gap and doing a good job of controlling the race. Taylor does have the fastest time so far tonight, only driver into the 17-second bracket.
Yeah, you can see Taylor, like I said earlier, he runs that little bit of a unique line where he enters real high, getting into turn 1 and into turn 3, and is able to drive that 76 machine off the bottom on both ends of the speedway. You can see it there. He's just driving that machine off the bottom end of the speedway, trying to generate more speed down both ends of the spray rings.
My bare eye says Quinton is closing that gap.
It's down to 0.8 of a second, okay. So he's chopped another 0.2 off. But on the flip side, the lap counter is going down at the same time. We're down to 13 to go. So Cole Quinton's got to go to the whip. He's got to reel in Sean Taylor in a hurry if he wants to have any time to work that 76 for the win.
Lost a little bit of ground that lap. They close in on a slower car of Grotu, and Sean Taylor is not catching Grotu in the spot he really wants to.
Will allow Quinton to run the preferred group, but now Quinton has to take the outside lane, working around the lap car, so it could end up being a wash.
I think it helped Quinton.
Down to 7/10, so he's there. You can see he is closing in.
I mean, Quinton might have learned something there. I'd like to see him run a little bit higher on the racetrack down in 3 and 4 because he really made tracks. He goes back to the bottom, but he is closing in on Sean Taylor. Those last couple of car lengths, they're the hardest ones to make.
Down to 0.6 of a second. Cole Quinton just continues to pick him up and lay him down as he tries to get to the back bumper of Sean Taylor. Going to be 9 to go at the stripe. This one is going to come right down to the end.
You saw them just work around the lap car. That's the 05 of David Goodacre. Goodacre joining us from Brantford tonight. But as we said earlier, Quinton in that 18 car, closing the gap, reeling in that 76 of Sean Taylor. Slowly each turn, that 18 car is creeping closer to the back bumper of the 76 machine.
Got to within a few car lengths, but it kind of again seems to stall out there.
I think this is a benefit to Cole Quinton. He wants to catch him. He's got one chance. He is not going to stalk Sean Taylor and make a move because Sean Taylor is very good. He's got to get there, take his one shot. He's either going to work or it's not.
Yeah, he's going to have one chance. Like I said, the 76 of Taylor, multiple feature time winner here this season at Flamboro Speedway. There's one in the grass. That's the 45 of Caitlin Wallace down in 3 and 4. She pulls to the inside. Looks like we're going to remain green as she works that 45 machine into the pit area in the center of the track. we're going to stay green with about 6 laps to go.
And I think the veteran Sean Taylor was just minding the gap. Very well could have been. Let Cole Quinton come to within about 3 car lengths, and now he's opened it back up to almost a second at 76 of Sean Taylor. Looking to get it done with 5 to go.
He's brought that 76 down to the racing line. He's not running the high groove anymore.
No, yeah, you can see he's definitely changed it up here. Maybe he thought a little better of it as the 18 was closing in on him.
Maybe he just saw how the 18 was getting there.
Potentially, yeah. He definitely has changed his line up here, and he continues to pull away from that 18 car. They're going to catch a little bit of lap traffic ahead of them, as the 77 of Mike Hooper could potentially be in the road here as they come to 3 laps to go for the 76 machine of Sean Taylor.
Well, you see they clear the 77, no problem. 76 to Taylor showing the way down the backstretch with 3 to go. Again, a healthy 0.8 of a second lead over the 18 of Cole Quinton.
2 laps to go here as Taylor flashes under the stripe. Not sure if they're going to catch the 7 of Bobby Mercer just ahead of them. We'll see if Cole Quinton has anything to go here in the final 6 corners around Flamboro Speedway. Still a little ways back here. We'll see if he's got anything left here as they come off of turn number 4. White flag is in the air.
It's going to take a mistake from Sean Taylor to open the door for Cole Quinton. They've both driven a phenomenal race. No mistakes at all for either of the top 2. Take us home.
And they've shown how the top 2 have been the class of the field. They've got about 5 seconds back to third, off turn 4 for the final time. Sean Taylor's going to go to victory lane here in this mini sprint invitational, winning by a final margin of 0.991 seconds over Cole Quinton. The 16 of Thompson comes home third. Kyle Neumeister, a leader early, finishes 4th. And Chris Pendlebury in the London Recreational Racing Machine comes home 5th.
Pretty great display of racing by these drivers. I mean, Neumeister and Taylor lap after lap after lap, side by side. Mike Hooper showing some signs of smoke out that 77 machine, but every other part of this race was well run, good, hard, clean racing.
Yeah, not too often you see the mini stocks go green to checkered in a 50-lap invitational here. So great racing by this class here tonight as they joined the APC late models tonight. Taylor's going to work that 76 car down into victory lane.
Taking the scenic route. Clinton Jeffrey is on hand. Man, he didn't have anything to do that race. Clint, do you still get paid by the word?
Well, Adam, Sean Taylor brings the 76X car here into quick victory lane. He'll work on getting out here. We'll get a quick word with him here as this GM electric machine ran flawless today. And Taylor, you know, Adam, I saw Sean on one of the broadcasts last year going home with the light at Clapperson Hill there. And one of the nights he was in the race but didn't quite get the win. He said, well, we put on a show for you anyways. And boy, did they ever that night, just like they did here tonight. Sean's just about to jump out. We'll get him out here and welcome him to Quick Fire Starter Victory Lane. And he gets it done. Sean Taylor, ladies and gentlemen. Come on around this way, Sean. Great drive tonight here, Sean. You know, you were kind of flawless. It looked like you were letting Cole get back on your bumper a little bit and then drove away when it counted. Were you monitoring the gap behind you?
I was more trying to take care of my tires. I know how expensive they are, so trying to make them last for long. 50 laps is a long time in these cars. It's definitely hot out there, but yeah, Cole was definitely keeping me honest. It wasn't easy by any stretch, but fun racing with Kyle there at the beginning. Hopefully putting on a decent show. Great crowd. Wish we had a couple more cars, but I won't complain standing here.
Great job, man. Anybody you want to thank for helping you get here?
Yeah, definitely. We got crashed probably about a month ago now, and one of my uncles, Roddy, came down, and him and my dad and other Uncle Harold, we've been fine-tuning on this thing, and we found a lot of speed in it, and yeah, it's making it easy for the driver. And, of course, Kangaroo Trailers, it's where we house the car, Haggard Crane Rentals, GM Electric. Hot out there.
Good job, man. Sean Taylor gets it done. We'll get over here and talk to Cole Quinton. Cole, good drive for you tonight. You know, pretty good run, second place. Sean knows his way around here really good. You're getting it done, though, too.
Yeah, I mean, my team gave me a really good car. I can't thank Eric Delariva, Randy Shaw, and everyone at Spire Racing enough. I just got to thank God for the opportunity to do this. I'm blessed to be at the racetrack, especially coming out of times like this. And Sean's a class act. He drove a hell of a race, and I tried everything I could. I just couldn't get him at the end.
Right on, good job. Well, Cole Quinn, we'll get in here. Mike Thompson. Mike, a solid run for you. Third place is a good deal after 50 laps here at Flamboro.
Yeah, it was a tough 50 laps, but the crew did an amazing job preparing the car for me. It was a little hot, a little slick, but I'm glad we got the good finish. We had some bad luck the last few weeks, so I'm glad to see we got her out in one piece. I just got to thank Tatra Shoes, Butcher and Banker in Fun Hill, Best Burgers in Fun Hill, and Speed Composites and Runcos.
Right on. Mike Thompson will be our third place finisher here tonight. Cole Quinn will finish second. Sean Taylor will be first with the win. Guys, the big story here this summer, right across the entire racing universe, has been tires. We got a chance to talk to the guys from Grisdale and American Racer today about what they're facing to get this tire situation under control. We're here with Matt Lockwood. Matt, obviously tire supplier here through Grisdale and, American Racer. Tire's been a big issue in everything racing in the world this year. Lots of guys are really clamped down. You guys seem to be managing this thing through this series okay. We see lots of tires on the rack. Tell us how it's been going.
Yeah, I mean, it's as good as to be expected. It's tough, right? Like, we're trying to prioritize everything. The tracks have been super understanding. Racer have been super understanding with the amount of tires they can get. Like, everyone started with one practice tire. Or one set of practice tires. That's all they've gotten all year. And then, obviously APC is a big deal for us, right? So we've been trying to prioritize them along with all the racetracks that get one tire a night, right, for each car. It's been tough. We get about 350, 400 tires a month for the slicks, and it's tough. Like, it's just trying to save and manage, and, guys that, aren't racing every week have been understanding and running old tires and just trying to prioritize where the tires need to go.
Right on. And, this has been a big issue, like we said, everywhere, but you guys have been doing a great job managing it. I know the team certainly appreciate what you guys have been going on, and, what's been the difficult part is just getting these guys, keeping them on the track, right?
Yeah, the most difficult part is consistency, and it's mainly with the late model guys, where, we've had to resort, like today, for instance, we're low on tires, so we've had to resort to running left sides as right sides. Now, it works, like, guys get the stagger, but it's inconsistency with, like, overall circumference, right? So guys have had to adjust a little bit and adapt, but they've been really good about it, and it's just, we're trying to work with everyone as much as we can, right?
Right on, Matt. We appreciate your time today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Obviously a tiresome situation here, guys, but, just imagine what it's like for them. They're in the business of selling tires, and they have to clamp down and restrict on what tires. Got to be a frustrating year for them, but they're doing a great job. Want to thank everybody from Grisdale and American Racer for keeping the guys on track this season.
Tiresome. Clinton Jeffrey always doing a great job. Let's have a look at our Flamboro Speedway calendar. What's coming up? Busy schedule. Every Saturday night in the summer there's something to do. Next Saturday night, July 23rd, Bennett GMC presents a full card, late models, vintage modified, super stocks, mini stocks, and pure stocks. On July 30th, it is Kids Ride Night. It is what it sounds like. Featuring the Ontario Modifieds Pro Challenge, Canadian Vintage Modified, Super Stock, Mini Stock, and Pure Stocks. On August 6th is the Grisdale Triple Crown, round number 2 for the late models. Joining them will be the Vintage Modifieds, the Super Stocks, Mini Stocks, and Pro 4s. And then on August 13th, this will be a fun one. Klotz Automotive presents the Vintage Modifieds, Mini Stocks, Pure Stocks, Pro Midgets, and the Spectator Drags. That is your quick fire starter upcoming event schedule here at Flamboro Speedway. Always something on a Saturday night. You don't even have to look and see what's on the card. You know it's going to be a good show. It's going to be fun.
Definitely a good night here at Flamborough.
And there's going to be Flamburgers. Clinton Jeffrey caught up with Kyle Steckley, driver who got his first win in the APC series here last season. Let's hear what they had to say.
Well, guys, we're here with Kyle Steckley. Kyle, a place you know pretty good. How do you like it here?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's different than anywhere else here in Ontario, so I like coming out here. Been running on Friday nights and getting a lot of good results here, so hopefully we can carry it over into the APC series and have a good run tonight.
So a little bit hotter today, going to start a bit earlier than a regular Friday. How does that change your game plan?
Yeah, it definitely changes it a lot because there's a lot longer races, a lot more tire wear you got to take into consideration. So we're changing a couple things and hopefully making it good on the long run and good tonight. And we'll see where we can get this APC Auto Parts Canusa Warehousing 22.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Kyle Steckley, second-generation driver. He knows the fast way around. He's got feature wins in this division, guys. Watch for the 22 tonight.
The message is correct. Yeah, he won last night at Delaware Speedway. That was a chat we had with Kyle earlier this year at Delaware Speedway. And
2 wins in a row for him at Delaware on Friday nights, so he's been on a roll there.
The thing that I like best about Kyle Steckley is Flamboro Speedway is a tough joint. This is the toughest of the tough of any track you can go to. But when we talk to him about this place, he embraces it. He loves it because it's a challenge, and it pays off. If you can do well here, Kevin, you can do pretty well anywhere you want to go in Ontario.
Yeah, you can really relate the size and shape of this racetrack to a lot of different speedways here around Southern Ontario. I mean, Sauble Beach, which you guys are headed up to there in a little bit. You guys were up at Peterborough Speedway not too long ago. Very similar, maybe a little bit more round than it here is at Flamboro Speedway. But lots of techniques, driving styles, everything that you're going to use here at Flamboro can really relate to a lot of different speedways in Southern Ontario, even some of the parts of the U.S. as well.
Of the places we go to, Adam, I think that this and Sauble are the 2 tracks of the group of tracks we go to that are closest.
Yes and no. Here's why I'm going to tell you I disagree, because everyone likes going to Sauble. It's a track you can be very comfortable at.
Close to the beach?
Well, that too. Flamboro is tricky, and I say this from experience I had 20 years ago. You run the same gears in a hobby car. We ran the same gears at Flamboro, Sunset, Sauble, Peterborough. Those 4 tracks are not the same. They're not even similar. Like you say, Kevin, Peterborough's a little bit rounder, very sweeping. Sunset Speedway back in the day, to me, was very, very similar. Before the reconfiguration was similar to Sauble. But Sauble, you go down the straightaway, you point the car into the turn, you slow down, you make the turn, and you go. Flamboro, something happens in the middle of both of those turns. It's like turn 1 and 2 and turn 2 are not connected. Turn 3 and turn 4. There's a lot of work to do to make it a good lap. At
Sauble, like going through 1 and 2 at Moseport.
Oh, God. Nothing is like going through 1 and 2 at Moseport. But that's why we say it's so unique here at Flamboro Speedway. It's a tricky joint. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be ready to go TQ Midget Racing on a big night here at Flamboro Speedway.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
I've always had the spirit that I wanted to invent something new, and so when we got into clothing, I got immersed into it, and the only way that you would really understand how to build clothing is to become a pattern maker. That pattern maker concept started becoming very interesting to me because I went, I can make this better. Love it. Absolutely love designing. Doesn't matter whether it's a garment or an engine or a car, decals on our race cars. I love doing that. That's my forte.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
I'm nice all the time. Why not? Life is short. Be kind. How much fun have we had this season, Clinton Jeffrey, traveling the country?
It's been a great time being out on the road. We've got to see some amazing places, met some great fans. I mean, this series we get to cover has just been awesome to get around and see all these tracks that we never really got to go to in the past. And it's awesome to be welcomed in the way we have been by the fans and the crew and all the staff. And, we got to Peterborough there about a month ago. And we're like, wow, this is the one place we haven't G-forced yet. So it went great. We were welcomed in. And, man, it's just awesome to be able to bring the racing to the folks that can't get here.
I like how he's changed G-forced into a verb.
Well, Spencer, let me tell you. Folks can't hear Spencer's voice, but I will tell you this. Gary Calling just put on a headset. So there will be no stopping of the messing with the mics because it's Gary Calling, and he does what Gary wants.
Hey, Adam, did you just make a joke about me being short?
No, but I can.
No, he saves those for Twitch.
I mean, I'm sitting in my chair and still looking down at you.
Well, thanks, Adam. I do like helping you out as much as possible. It's a beautiful thing.
I think I found your tent.
Yeah, the one you had for a whole year?
I didn't know I had it.
Anytime you want to deliver that, my house is where it is. It hasn't moved.
I won't even charge you for storage.
Oh, that's fantastic. Fantastic.
That's how kind I am. But Gary, big night here for Flamboro Speedway.
Yeah, it's an amazing night.
Great weather, great racing.
Good weather. Fans look good in the grandstands. The pits are packed. We want you guys to go after the races. You can go over, check out your least favorite driver or your most favorite driver. Have a word with them if you want. Tell them what you think. They may not listen to you.
Some of them will.
Yeah.
You also came in to say, hey, I've got a bunch of stuff to give away, and none of it is my size.
Well, they don't make that size anymore.
So you really should have said, hey, I've got a bunch of stuff I would like to give away to our great race fans, because you made it sound like you had a gift for us.
No, I never have a gift for you.
I know.
I give you the gift that keeps on giving. But I do have some great shirts from J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
That his wife just handed to me. And maybe I'll walk through the pits and I'll just start, or up through the grandstands and just start rifling them.
I think you should. That would be awesome. I've got some weeds in my driveway. You have any more of that juice that you brought over?
Shh, you can't talk about that.
Well, I don't ask
okay,
for it.
Anyways, all right. I will come see you. Hey, I'm going to come through the grandstands. We'll give it away. Make sure you go to the Lions Club, buy your 50-50 tickets, support the Lions Club of Waterdown for everything they do for the kids, all that good stuff, books and music and all that wild stuff they do. And I'm going to come down and throw some shirts in the thing. Hey, we bought a new mic here. Did you hear?
I heard. Yeah, you went and talked to Adam Lockwood, and I think he was in Westover.
Yeah, like way far away. It was amazing.
Your demonstration was tremendous. I thought it was well done.
Gary,
until it cut out, and you said, no, see, it doesn't cut out. And
well, I
everybody
turned
in
around.
the grandstand said, Gary, it cut out.
Just a little bit, but I was really far away.
But yeah, you were almost down to the Flamboro golf course there, I think, at the time.
Yeah, and people should buy Flamburgers here because they're the best burgers in town, right? Wait, we hydrate on hamburgers.
You
here,
should
don't we?
buy Flamburgers here because you can't buy them anywhere else.
Well, that's a good thing.
There you go.
Get yourself a burger.
You've cornered the market.
All
so,
right.
folks, if you want a shirt from Gary Calling, make a lot of noise, make yourself seen, wave your hat over your head, swing it around.
Gary's done touching the microphone.
But I do need to tell you, if you're anything but a size large, make sure you make friends with a size large. This is why I never get free shirts. Earlier this year, we got to do some really fun things with the race car drivers at a media day earlier this season. And this was one question I was looking forward to asking. We talked to the drivers about what they are superstitious about, because let me tell you, there is nothing as superstitious as a race car driver. Here's what we heard.
Never to put the race car forward in the shop, always back it in.
I do. I tie up my left belt before my right.
I have a routine that I do before I load my race car.
Yeah, like I put my shoes on in the right order, belts on a certain way, that kind of stuff.
No. I have a routine that I do when I scale my car.
No, I try not to.
I have a routine of when the car comes back from the shop.
No.
Initial checks that I do, and then I have a program that I run throughout the week.
A certain way that I carry myself on race day. If you had a good run, you try to manipulate everything that you did the following week before.
Shea Gemmel's loaded up on superstitions.
Yeah, in case you were wondering, we had Shea Gemmel throughout, and we kind of mixed in other drivers because Shea has a list of about 15 things that he is superstitious about. What is it? You got to back the car into the shop?
Back the car into the shop, yep.
The way you load the car? So that was interesting. It was fun to talk to the drivers and kind of ask them things that they're not used to being asked and see what comes of it. Folks, G-Force TV, we have got racing on each and every weekend. We are blessed to go to tracks all around Ontario. Here is what's coming up on our Fast Eddie Speedway upcoming events calendar. July 30th, we're heading to the beach. Sauble Speedway for the APC Series, July 30th. Our next few events are all APC events, of course, every Friday night for Mushweekend Speedway, but August 13th is the APC Series, making its final stop at Sunset Speedway for the year. And then August 27th, we're back to the beach to Sauble Speedway. Our next 3 APC events are all in beach towns. And I never bring my Speedo with me.
This is probably a good thing.
The world thanks us.
I got to let you know what happened at Delaware last night. We had some really cool stuff happen. I got to throw some shout outs. First of all, Carson Nagy won his second
I saw that.
Superstock feature of the year, and Kyle Steckley won his second in a row late model race. But throw that stuff aside. Heat race competition in a Superstock, okay? Doug Stewart's been racing at Delaware since 1979, okay? Like, he's been doing it as long as Dave Franks has. Won a heat race last night, and then they pulled the late models out. Lloyd Rawlings, who raced at Checkered Flag Speedway through the 80s, started racing at Delaware Weekly in 92 or 93, 58 years old, went to Victory Lane last night in a heat race and held off Jesse Kennedy to do it. Those 3 guys, 100-plus racing years of experience. It was an absolute blast. The 2 of them got a picture after together. It was great.
I love that stuff. Love it. Last week I was down at Brighton Speedway. They needed an announcer for the night. And same thing, the Thunderstock division, someone who'd been racing for 15, 20 years, never won a feature. And did he ever have to work for it to hold people off? Those are the things that you remember coming to the track, and it brings you back again and again. And Flamboro Speedway has been the site of many of those memorable nights.
Eddie Camras' only APC victory came here. Kyle Steckley last year, winning as a rookie, came here. Billy Schwarzenberg, only APC victory, has come here. So some guys have made history here at Flamboro Speedway. Even though the APC series has been around for a short period of time, history has been made here at Flamboro Speedway. And again, it's one of the most fun stops on the tour.
I think it is. And talk about fun stops and someone who's been racing. Clint and I talked about our travels all over the country. Here's a young man who's got to travel all over the country, and he's had some big wins here at Flamboro Speedway. Clint caught up with Treyton Lapsovich earlier this afternoon.
We caught up with Treyton Lapsovich. Treyton, part-timer here this year, a bit of a different role for you. But all these different cars you're getting into from the Pinty Series back to here, how's that playing into your hand this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm getting a lot of experience doing different things, racing different cars. So really, I just learn a lot when we come back to the late model here, and part-timing it makes it a little easier on myself. We're just out here to grab some wins.
So arguably the closest track to home, is it a place you're comfortable? Is it a place you'd like to race at? Is it a place you can pass at?
Yeah, I love Flamboro. I mean, I've always said Flamboro is one of my favorite tracks, and honestly, I think it is my favorite track. So we've had a lot of good runs here in the past with the APC series, and haven't got that win here though. So that's what we're hoping for tonight.
He's been fast everywhere we've gone. Watch for Treyton Lapsovich here tonight, guys. Another one. He actually says he likes the place.
I forget whether you go back to 2021 or was it 2020. Him and Andrew Gressel got into it, racing for the win, and just absolutely phenomenal stuff at the end of the race here.
Well, look at the people that he has gone toe-to-toe with. Andrew Gressel, DJ Kennington he's had some run-ins with. He's like the giant slayer. He doesn't always win the battles, but he's not shy to enter them.
Every time he's there, he's there.
I think so.
He's definitely a talented kid, got a bright future in front of him, and has done very well. Again, missing the championship in the APC series by just a point or two last year.
And he's a month away from starting university at York University in Toronto. So, I mean, racing is important. If you're a Lapsovich, racing is important. But great to see him furthering his education. Quality family. And there's a family who was brought up at the racetrack from grandfather Joe Lapsovich, the late Joe Lapsovich, and then uncles Jeff, Jim, and Joe Jr., the late Joe Jr., and then it has trickled down, of course, to Caden and Treyton and Ryden, who is the animal of the Treyton or of the Lapsovich bunch.
Cousin Nick as well.
That's right.
Made a lot of starts in that 5 car. Get to see Ryden every Friday night at Delaware in that 12 machine. They've been struggling with that new car, but seem to be making some progress last night.
They'll figure it out. And in fairness, Ryden did not have the racing upbringing that Treyton and Caden did. Treyton and Caden raced quarter midgets all over North America, much because Papa Joe. Mm-hmm. Papa Joe took them to a lot of them. Of course, Jeff took them to a lot of them. Ryden didn't get that opportunity. Ryden did different things. He's a very good football player. He's had a lot of different interests, and only just the last couple of years really got into the racing.
Just to realize how far they travel, I went to Indianapolis for the Cup race years and years ago, and we stopped in Ohio on the way home at a rest stop, and there's the Lapsovich's motorhome there. They were on their way home with the quarter midget, so I wrote a note. I was here, stuck it on the back of a pit pass, and threw it up under their windshield wiper to say hi because they were all sleeping at the time. But just that's a lot of travel for kids to go racing.
And I like to bust chops with Jeff Lapsovich. Jeff Lapsovich is a funny guy, and I've made him the brunt of a lot of jokes, and thankfully he hasn't punched me yet. But I like to point out that, man, your boys win a lot of races. It's been 20 years since you won a lot of races. Do you remember winning? I said, what's the difference? He said, I didn't have me as a crew chief. My boys do.
There you go.
All right. Well played.
He's got it figured out. I remember the very first year I was working for Tony in Cascar, 1994. I had to go to Ottawa and do some media relations stuff for the Super Series. And first time I'd ever been to Ottawa, first time I'd really been working at another track other than Delaware, and we show up there and I see 25 Super Series cars, getting the cars out and getting them over to Tech Lane. The Lapsovich crew, the first thing they did was get everything on ice, and then they got the car out and started steering the car to victory lane.
It's a lot of beer been drunk in the Lapsovich camp. I lost Gary Calling. Where did he go?
Threw out his shoulder trying to reach the third row.
He must have given away all those shirts.
He's pretty tiny out there. I don't know if you'll see him in the crowd.
I think that's him running in front of the stands.
Oh, it might be.
Right next to the one in the green shirt. Go,
no,
Gary.
Gary would.
Yeah, he's done.
He wouldn't be running.
There's no way he'd be running that fast.
No,
not a
that
chance.
fast. That guy was hauling the man.
That's too tall to be Gary anyhow. So as Clinton said, the schedule tonight is set. It's nothing to do with us. We answer to a higher power. As soon as those TQ midgets come out, we're going to introduce them.
You put them on the track, we'll announce them.
We're going to watch them race.
Then we're going to get to our feature.
I'd like to see those two up in turn 4 race their ATVs. Full contact, like roller derby style.
Tow truck race maybe tonight?
That'd work.
A couple weeks ago, Gary and I actually jumped in a car and ran around for drag race night.
Who got to drive?
Well, I sat in the passenger seat of Mike Norris. Tim was the flag guy. Mike Norris of the Ontario Pro Challenge Series.
Yep.
Thankfully, he didn't put us in the wall. He tried, got awful close coming off of turn 2. I can tell you that wall comes up a lot quicker when you're in the car versus when you're standing up here. I can tell you that for sure.
Comes up even faster when you're in the passenger seat.
100%. I mean, it was great because the air conditioning was on, the music was going. I had a great time, but thankfully he didn't put us in the wall. But you get a totally different perspective when you're actually on the track to see what these drivers do week in and week out.
To that point, how much do you know about Kids Ride Night?
If I'm being honest?
Yeah, because I know that you're new.
Not a lot. I usually just kind of go with the flow. That's usually what I'm going with.
So in 2 weeks' time, I think it was, Spencer, feel free to bring the calendar back up on the screen and we can talk about it. But Kids Ride Night is just that. Young people get the opportunity to ride around in a race car. And you're not up to speed, but still, it's pretty darn cool. We're going to take a quick break on G-Force TV. Then, God willing, there'll be TQ Midgets lined up when we come back. We'll be right back.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rearview mirror, every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickwick.com.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
Welcome back to Flamboro Speedway, where we like to do things a little bit different on GeForce TV. We're going to start the lineup at the 7th position tonight.
Starting 7th in the 13 car from Woodstock, Ontario, in the Advantage Powder Coating sponsored entry, it's the 13 of Jaden Riddell. Starting 8th from Newmarket, Ontario, in the Mack Welding Lloyd's Auto sponsored entry, it's the 7 of Jeff Blackburn. Starting in 9th from London, Ontario, in the Advantage Powder Coating Wilds Printing sponsored entry, it's the 81 of Cassidy March. Starting in 10th from Georgetown, Ontario, is the 5 of Andrew Whelan. As you can see, the Quick Wick Can-Am Midgets, they're going to give you one of the best sights in asphalt racing and dirt racing. 4 wide salute for you, the fans, as they come off of turn 4. Grab a hat, grab a hand, grab Gary Collings' hand if you can find him, and wave them off as they set to do battle here for 25 laps. The Quick Wick Can-Am Midgets, always one of the best sights. 4 wide salute to you, the fans, saying thank you for coming out here to Flamboro Speedway on this wonderful Saturday night.
Great field of cars as the drivers give the fans a salute. And forever, the Can-Am Midgets have been one of the most popular touring clubs in Ontario.
Everyone loves the Can-Am Midgets, and they always put on a great show, especially here at Flamboro Speedway. Some say it's like a fighter jet in a fishbowl. Well, we like to say they're a Can-Am Midget at Flamboro Speedway as they give the 4 wide salute. We're going to continue with the lineup here. Starting in 11th from London, Ontario, in the Merit Group Insurance Boot Hill Country Jamboree sponsored entry, it's the 6th of Craig Pitchell. Starting in 12th in the 46 car from Palmerston, Ontario, in the Stock 23 Auto Sales Epic Racewear Rack Hunter Camo sponsored entry, it's the 46 of Bob Bailey. Starting in 13th from St. Catharines, Ontario, is Roberto Polillo. Starting in 14th from Waterford, Ontario, in the CJ Fences and Decks ACR Property Management Plus sponsored entry, it's the 55 of Corey Whittam. And rounding out at the field from Milton, Ontario, in the Mike Westwood Fabrication 91 car, it's Mike Westwood.
We'll go back to the first 3 rows. Paul Harrison on the pole in the 29C. On the outside of him, it's David Miller in the number 11. The 57, whose sheet has escaped me, is James Stanley. Alongside of him, it's the 83 of Brady Rickwood. 42 is Daniel Hahn. And outside of him, it's the 49 of Dominique Smith. That's your top 3 rows. To go with the remaining rows, a great field of cars here at Flamboro Speedway. This is going to be fun.
Let's see if Mike Westwood's got those problems from earlier sorted out. We'll see if that 91 can bring it all the way from the back green in the air. They're racing down into one for the first time.
Paul Harrison in that 29 car gets a good jump. The 11 of David Miller is going to try to hang on the outside, but so far going into turn 3 and 4, Harrison continues to lead the field, and Miller's going to battle back on the outside in that 11 car.
The field's still in formation, except in some spots where it's actually 3 wide, 4 wide there for a moment in turn number 2.
Scary moment as the Midgets were 4 wide off turn 2. You see a great battle out front now. Down the front stretch into 1, it's the 11. David Miller on the outside, Harrison on the inside in the 29. It's going to be Miller closing the deal off turn 2.
You can see the battle for second now is heating up as the 55 of Corey Whittam. He has worked his way up to second. Second spot now, the 55 of Whittam. He flashes by the 29 car of Paul Harrison. Harrison's going to slide back into third. Fourth right now is the 83 of Brody Rickwood, and fifth is the 42 of Daniel Hahn.
Down into 1, they work still the 11 showing the way. David Miller having it his way out front. Leading that 55 heat race winner earlier on tonight, Corey Whittam, in that double nickel trying to come after the leader. He's chasing Miller down into the front stretch, and into turn 1, he's cut that lead down to about 2 car lengths.
Miller continues to lead the way in that 11 car. Those front 2 have separated by a few car lengths over the third place of 29 of Paul Harrison. Miller continues to lead the way, but he has company as Whittam now looks to the bottom into turn number 1.
Whittam makes it stick on the bottom, pulls off the pass for the lead. Whittam, your leader now, he's showing the way over Miller. Harrison goes third. And the 83 runs fourth. That's Brody Rickwood. Rounding out the top 5 is the 42 of Hahn.
Hahn kind of stuck in the middle there, nowhere to go. The 49 of Dominique Smith right behind him. Those 4 cars nose to tail, a little bit of a separation. Believe running in that 7th position, that's the 57 of James Stanley, still continuing to lead the way. The 55 of Corey Whittam putting a few paces in front of that 11 car of David Miller.
Rickwood just piled it in on the bottom, picked up third spot. Now he's going to bring Hahn through with him. 29 in trouble. He'll bleed another spot. Harrison loses that position as Dominic Smith in the 49 slides through into the top 5 now.
Harrison spin going through 3 and 4. The 83 of Brody Rickwood goes around right in front of the giant pack of cars. The field is able to scramble around and get around the 83 car without any damage, it looks like, to the rest of the field. Rickwood looks like he potentially just looped it in the middle of 3 and 4. There was a lot of commotion going on there. We'll see if that 83 car can get refired and continue on.
Well, it looks like he's up and rolling now. Problems on that Brody Rickwood, number 83. He is up and rolling in the right direction now. It didn't seem like there was any contact, so he should be good to go, unless he's got like a flat tire. Yeah, it looks like the right rear's flat.
Yep. That'll cause you to spin out.
I think it's only flat on the bottom, though.
Oh, boy. You had to go there.
Rickwood will go to the attention of his crew, get a new right rear, and be fired back up.
Looks like some potential problems for the 7 of Jeff Blackburn. Blackburn pulls off into the bottom of the racing line here off of turn number 2.
Yeah, the right rear went flat on the 83 machine. It snapped around in a hurry, as we saw there on the replay. Now Blackburn going to get some support to get going there off of turn number 2. Had been running in the 8th spot, Kevin.
Yeah, so far Jeff Blackburn coming in tonight, the points leader for the Quick Can-Am Midgets. So problems here early on for that points leader in the 7 machine of Jeff Blackburn. We'll see if they're able to get that machine refired as they work down the back straightaway here. So far 9 laps in the books into this 25-lap main event for our Quick Can-Am Midgets. Continuing to lead the way, the 55 of Corey Whittam. Second is the 11 of David Miller. Third is now the 42 of Daniel Hahn. Fourth will be the 29C of Paul Harrison. Fifth is the 49 of Dominique Smith. Sixth is the 57 of James Stanley, Jaden Riddell, Andrew Whelan, Cassidy March, and Craig Pitchell. Mike Westward, Bob Bailey, Roberto Palillo still on track. Still some problems with that 7 car, as you can see, he's down at the attention of the safety crew just before turn number 3.
And the push vehicle driver kind of jumped out, hey, are we going all the way back to the pits? Are you going to fire? What are we going to do there?
Yeah, these machines, sometimes with them so low to the ground, sometimes the officials have a hard time seeing the driver's hand signals when they're up on the back of those quads. Looks like they're pushing Blackburn through turn 3 and 4 now. Looks like at the tail end of the field, the 83 of Brody Rickwood is able to come back. Tire doesn't look any flat anymore, so they must have filled the bottom half of the tire and got it ready to go again. So Brody Rickwood is going to join back at the backside of the field here. That machine is refired. Like you said, Adam, I think they're pushing that 7 machine back to the pit. So definite problems for that 7 machine of Jeff Blackburn here. The points leader coming into tonight for the Quick Can-Am Midgets.
Colorful bunch this season, too. There's some good-looking cars out there, some great new racers coming on the scene. You've still got the veteran content that'll keep everyone honest and kind of set the bar, but you look up and down, there's not that one dominant driver like there has been over the course of many seasons with the club.
No, lots of adversity here with the club this year. The 57 of James Stanley continues to get better. He's a rookie here. He's running in the 5th spot here so far. Looks like we're back ready to go green as Whittam in the 55 leads them back onto the green flag. We are back racing. 42 of Daniel Hahn's going to try to sneak underneath that 11 of David Miller. Hahn is going to make the pass stick coming off of turn 2.
See if Hahn can keep pace with Whittam out in front. David Miller not falling back one bit. He's keeping right up on the rear tail tank of the Hahn 42, and Dominique Smith looking racy in the 49.
Dominique Smith trying to work on the 11 of David Miller. You can see at the back of the field the 91 of Mike Westwood having some issues on that racing machine. The nuke, as he likes to call it, potentially might have nuked itself as he comes off of turn 4, some problems, but at the front of the field, still side by side now as the 49 of Dominique Smith is going to try to make a move on the 11 of David Miller.
Also looking at what that 83 of Brody Rickwood can do from deep in the field. He had a fast hot rod. A lot of cars to pass here, but great battle there between the 29 machine and the 13. Again, the 29. Paul Harrison, the 13. Jaden Rydell. Now it's a 3-car scramble. That's all going on for 5th spot. We're straight away behind the leader.
Yeah, Andrew Whelan in that 5 machine, and James Stanley slipped back there in the 57 car just behind that battle. Stanley again trying to work his way back up into the top 5. Whelan is going to try to make a move just behind the 13 of Jaden Riddell. He's going to try to work on our pole sitter, the 29 of Paul Harrison. Whelan in that 5 car gave up a little bit of momentum through turn 1 and 2. Momentum is key in these cars. You got to keep the momentum up to keep pace with the car in front.
It really is. You want to keep your speed up the best you can. It sounds obvious, but really it is the key to making speed in a TQ midget, is to let that thing roll and keep on the throttle as much as you can. Corey Whittam with a comfortable lead over Hahn. Dominique Smith up to the 3rd spot, but doesn't look like she's making a lot of ground on the race leaders.
Great battle on your screen right now. The 57 of James Stanley in the middle of that dogfight, trying to get around the 29 of Paul Harrison. Harrison sits 6th, Stanley 7th, 8th is Andrew Whelan, and 9th tail into that battle. And I believe it's the 6th car of Craig Pritchell. But a great 4-car scramble. 57 will work to the inside again. Now the 5's going to roll the outside. They look like they were going to get 3 wide off turn 2 there. Andrew Whelan in that 5, trying to use the outside lane, and he will. He gets 2 for 1 on the outside. So Whelan picks up another spot now. He goes to work on the 29 of Harrison. That'll be next as Whelan tries to knock on the door for a top 5. 5 to go this time by for your lead to the 55 out of turn 4.
Whittam continues to lead the way. Still a great battle for that 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th position. The 6 car of Craig Pitchell trying to join in the back end of that battle as well. Still at the front of that little package is the 29 of Paul Harrison, our pole sitter. But Andrew Whelan is all over the back bumper as the front of the field. The 55 of Corey Whittam continues to pace them with the 42 of Daniel Hahn still behind them. You can still see now the 57 of James Stanley is going to try to make a move on the 5 car of Andrew Whelan.
These two have been going at it for a number of laps now, 3 to go. And that's the battle we're watching on the screen because, quite frankly, that's the best battle on the racetrack. It is all the 55 of Corey Whittam out front, but you can see Paul Harrison, Whelan, Stanley, and Pritchell still going at it. Again, this is the race for 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
2 to go sign is in the air. Whittam is off of turn 4. One more trip around Flamboro Speedway for the 55 of Corey Whittam. Still that battle for the 6th, 7th, and 8th as Paul Harrison continues to hold it down, but he has company. The 5 of Andrew Whelan's going to look to the outside.
Oh, 5 goes around and over.
5 car of Andrew Whelan upside on the lid of that racing machine.
A gentle layover for Whelan in the 5 machine. He'll be in a hurry to get that car back on its wheels.
The expression of shiny side up didn't happen coming off of turn 2 as the 5 machine of Andrew Whelan ended up on the side of that wing.
Could have been almost the slowest rollover I've ever seen. It just kind of got sideways and the right side's dug in, and then you'll see the 5 here on the replay. Yeah, you can see it gets sideways and then
sailed it down into the corner. Great bold move to the outside. I love those aggressive moves where he only put himself at risk. Once you spin around all the way and get to the left side again, because these cars are left side heavy, it just kind of, the rubber digs in and tips that car over. Clinton Jeffrey is on the scene, sort of checking things out.
Yeah, a little bit of damage to the top wing, guys, but I don't think it's going to be an issue. Needed the steering wheel back because he threw it out. If you can see anything, this looks a little bit out of kink there, guys. That looks like it's just a little bit out of kilter. It's all held on right. They're just trying to get him out of gear, roll it back. And he said, give me my wheel and give me a push. So I think the 5 should be able to go here for Whelan.
I think they called that race. You see our top 3 down in victory lane, so the checkered flag did fly.
Yeah, coming off of turn 4, I think Corey Whittam in the 55 car got to the line before the red flag flew. So your feature winner is the 55 of Corey Whittam. Second will go the 42 of Daniel Hahn. Third will be the 49 of Dominique Smith. You can see Whittam standing up on the car. Hands together for your feature winner, the 55 of Corey Whittam.
Clinton Jeffrey running back to victory lane to catch up.
He's here, guys. How about it for Corey Whittam? Gets it done. We'll get him down and have a word with him. Daniel Hahn and Dominique Smith also here into the top 3 area. Great drive tonight, Corey. You had him covered. Nobody really put too much of a challenge on you tonight. Great drive here tonight.
Yeah, the car was hooking up all night real good. I knew I had the car to beat right from the start, first practice. Yeah, just driving like no tomorrow.
Track looked great out there for you guys tonight. The sun play any issues with your guys tonight?
Sorry?
How's the track for you guys tonight?
Really good, actually. I thought it was going to be a lot looser out there, but I made some changes this week and tried a different setup, and it worked real good. And usually I'm really loose, but today I was a little bit tight.
Got it done, man. Congrats.
Oh, thank you.
Corey Whittam gets it done. We'll get over here and talk to second and third. You got someone else too?
I just got to thank my sponsors here. Allison Martell from Property Matchmakers Plus, or Property Matchmakers Royal LePage. I also like to thank ACR Property Plus. I also like to thank One Stop Lube, Mauricio, Epic Racewear, Calumet Signs, American Racer, Brimstone Games, Miller Office Trailers, Wagner Painting, Quick Wick, HMCW chassis, Hernia Call Motorsports, they've done a lot for me over the years. My grandparents for coming out, my parents for coming out, my wife Connie for all her support over the years, my daughter Maddie for coming out tonight and seeing a good win. And yeah, just all the fans here. It looks like a good crowd tonight. I'm happy to see all you guys and girls.
Right on, Corey Whittam gets it done. Daniel, you know, a solid run for you. You're always in the battle here. Second tonight.
Yeah, we had a really good car. Corey just kind of got us on the outside. We've had 2 weeks straight of brake failure in second, catching the leader, fastest car on the track, and just spun out. So I was happy with a second today. I'm not a very good points racer because I just come to try and win. So I'm trying to learn that from my brother. But yeah, we had a great car. I want to thank my sponsors. First Flamboro Machine Shop. They came on board last year. They've been great to me. FCR, he's a first class racing. He makes my car look so good. Adam's in the shop with me every week. HMCW, the series sponsors, Quick Wick and Miller Office, and G-Force and the crowd for coming out. I hope you guys liked that race. That was a pretty good race. Hopefully we'll have something for him at the end of the year. So thanks, guys.
Thanks, Daniel Hahn. We'll get in here and talk to Dominique. Now, we've been talking to Lucas quite a bit, your bro. He's been having some great runs here on J-Force on the dirt. You're getting down the pavement. Third place tonight. Congrats, Dominique.
Thank you. This year's been really rough for us. We've only finished one race so far this year, so third place. I'm really happy about it. Just want to thank our sponsors, Cedar Spring Water Haulage, and then my dad with JDL Distributing, my car owner Cliff Walsh, and then my boyfriend Ryan for coming out and helping as well.
Right on. Dominique Smith will finish third. Daniel Hahn will be second. And our feature winner tonight, Corey Whittam, guys. That's all from Quick Wick Fire Starter Victory Lane here at Flamboro.
Dominique isn't nearly as wordy as her brother Lucas. Lucas always has lots to say, but every bit is cheery. A big smile on her face, a well-deserved top three finish. Let's take a quick break, folks. We'll be right back on the other side with the APC late models of Flamboro Speedway 100 coming right up.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
Welcome back to Flamboro Speedway. It is almost time to get lined up for the APC series. Before we do that, we had the opportunity to catch up with some drivers. We've got the Fast Eddie driver spotlight. We're going to have 3 drivers on. Let's start with the driver, the number 83, Dale Shaw, the NTN Bearings entry. This is your Fast Eddie driver spotlight.
I've got a really good team behind me. I got my Uncle Randy now crew chiefing on the 74 car.
My dad is getting good at multitasking and taking a lot of the stuff that I used to do a couple years, and especially the end of last year, I really learned how to focus on my own car and get the most out of it. I kind of find like when practice starts, you work on your own car. In between practices, you help the other guys, and when the race starts, obviously you work with your teammates the best you can, but your goal is to finish first. I'm Dale Shaw, and you're watching APC Racing on eForce TV. Close enough? Okay.
We'll keep going along with that same thing. Billy Schwarzenberg was another driver we had the opportunity to catch up with.
Obviously 2019, we had a spectacular first half of our year. 2 seconds and a win in the first 5 races, leading the points at halfway, and lost the motor at Jukasa, and it just went downhill from there. So hoping to get back to that kind of beginning of 2019, and we would love to be competitive and running up front.
Always fun to be able to catch up with the drivers and talk about things that don't necessarily happen on the racetrack or at the racetrack, at least not at that moment, because the only time we generally talk to someone, Kevin, is when they've won or they've crashed.
Yeah, it's always great to catch a bit of a unique personality with the drivers. Always good to catch up with them when they're not in race mode, because I know a lot of these guys on race day, they are in full-blown race mode, and they definitely have a different personality than they do when they're away from the racetrack, that's for sure.
I've always kind of had that rule for myself. Don't judge anybody based on the way they are on race day, because it is an intense time. Everyone's a little bit different, and you talk to some of them away from the racetrack and think, wow, that's not at all how I envisioned you. Folks, if you bought 50-50 tickets, reach into your pocket, your purse, wherever you hang on to them. We won't judge. Because one of you is going to walk away with $1,060. If you have the ticket number 16582, 16582, if that is your number, you are the winner of tonight's Lions Club 50-50 draw for $1,060. Kevin, where do they go to claim their prize?
You can head on down to the main grandstand just behind the front entrance there. Head on down, see the guys in the yellow vest for the Waterdown 50-50 Club. I know $1,060. That'll buy a lot of Flamburgers. You can always send them up to the tower.
You can gift a Flamburger.
There's nothing better than a gift of a Flamburger. I know.
Gift that keeps on giving.
Multiple times. The gift that just keeps on giving, the Flamburger. So if that ticket number is your ticket number, again, head on down to the main grandstand. Again, ticket number 16582. You can see the guys in the yellow vests from the Waterdown Lions Club.
Our drone operator is shaking his head. He must have not enjoyed the Flamburger. Have you had one yet?
He's a chef. If you haven't, come on now. You can't shake your head if you haven't tried it.
I've heard it's a Michelin star burger. See? Yeah, there we go. Michelin star burger, only here at Flamboro Speedway. That might not be 100% true, but it's delicious.
Don't let the details get in the way of a good story.
No kidding. I don't even know what just happened. I think I fainted for a moment. One of the other questions we talked to our drivers about earlier this season was, do they have a pre-race meal? Is there something that fuels these drivers before they come to the racetrack? Here's what they had to say.
I don't eat on race days until after the race is finished.
A bowl of soup and a sandwich.
Pizza or nothing?
Pizza.
A Subway sandwich.
Probably a cheeseburger.
Seafood from the Twisted Hook or pizza from MJ's Roadhouse last year.
Don't often eat before races, but probably just a Subway sandwich.
Pre-race meal. I like spaghetti. I'm going to kind of get into the spaghetti.
I usually don't eat.
I just like all food.
I don't eat on race day. I don't eat for a couple of days if I'm real nervous before a race.
Whatever's in the trailer.
You know, I'm not going to name names, but the one particular driver is in his 30s, I'm fairly sure. and he just decided that he's just now kind of into spaghetti.
Kind of.
Who gets to their 30s before they've discovered spaghetti and whether or not they like it? Then Spencer just chimes in, me. This is a man who eats hot dogs for every meal with nothing on them. He has a diet like a 5-year-old.
I'm surprised we didn't get any Flamburger references on that. I was waiting for the Flamburger.
Well, no, that's your favorite
piece.
Racetrack food.
This is true, yes. I'm wondering if Josh Stoddy had his nice hot steaming bowl of soup earlier today before the race. I just can't see that soup would be a good meal today.
No, there's not a bad time for soup. I got his back on that.
Then again, I'm the guy that shows up to the racetrack in 30-degree weather with a hot coffee every week, right? So who am I to judge?
We've all got our routines. Let me tell you, 35 years ago, I was racing go-karts, and the McLennan family raced go-karts. Darcy McLennan, I mean, he was tiny. He was the tiniest of tiny. Little brother Darren McLennan was just a toddler. He was just barely a baby. I never saw that child eat anything but French fries for about 10 years of his life. All Darren McLennan lived on was French fries. I have a feeling that's changed a little bit because Darren is now married to a Van Weingarten from Flamboro Machine Shop, and I don't think she would put up with French fries every night for dinner. I mean, maybe.
They got a bunch of kids now, so I don't think you can serve the kids French fries every single meal. Then again,
Larry McLennan did. That's what they gave Darren.
I could eat pizza every single meal, I'm pretty sure.
He turned into a fine young man. Spencer said something about we've got another rapid-fire question. Spencer, remind me what it was. He's not telling now.
It was best track foods.
Best track food.
Best track food. There's the question that we're going to feature.
I know what some of the answers are going to be.
Bring it on, Spencer.
From our pit, Dana's Desserts. Her fudge is awesome.
Thompson Speedway, they have the best breakfast sandwich. It's really good.
The Hawaiian burger at Peterborough, it's delicious. It's got pineapple on it.
Martinsville hot dog. Peterborough Speedway French fries.
Peterborough's fries. We'll go with the Flamburger.
I gotta say Flamburger.
Probably a Flamburger.
A Flamburger. A Flamburger.
Flamboro Speedway. And their Flamburgers. Too good.
Years ago, I went to a NASCAR race down south with Doug Andrews from Have Bus Will Travel. And on the way down there, I told people when we get to the short track at Talladega, you have to go get a cup of boiled peanuts.
Oh, you're going to tell I've got a boiled peanut story, but go ahead.
Nobody understood what it was, but if you go to a racetrack in the south, a short track, dirt track or something like that, they boil peanuts in salt water and they give you a cup of boiled peanuts, and they're delicious.
Listen. So I'm going to for every argument, there is a counterpoint. I'm going to give you the counterpoint. New Smyrna Speedway, boiled peanuts. I have never experienced anything that smells as appealing as boiled peanuts. Like, wow, I've got to have that. And then I got them. And they're the most disgusting things to peel apart.
They are.
And it's like mushy chickpeas that you stick in your craw. And then they are kind of tasty, but you've got to get through the gross of getting the shells off the darn thing.
Because there's not much to it's not a shell anymore. It's just kind of a coating.
But it's like peanut hair. Like a shell that's been boiled, it's just like a bunch of hairs. It's like a stalk of corn, you know, that anyhow. They are good, but there's a gross factor that you've got to get through to enjoy them. Good story. Let's get one more break in, and I think it's going to be the last break of the night. I'm stamping it right now. We'll be right back with the lineup for the APC 100-lap feature event here at Flamboro Speedway.
So who exactly is Fast Eddie? More than just a man, it's the mindset that runs through our blood like oil through an engine. Whether on the track or on the street, Fast Eddie is the spirit that drives us to go fast and keep going. Born in 1949 with no time to look in the rearview mirror. Every story is worth telling, and every piece of Fast Eddie apparel has its own. Celebrate our mindset. This is Fast Eddie. This is combustion culture. FastEddieSpeedwear.com.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
He bought an old bus and has converted it over a motorhome. So you could do that kind of stuff with the old buses. It'd definitely be a way to get around, that's for sure.
I think it'd be pretty classy. Clinton, Jeffrey, find out when we can get going with driver introductions, but let's throw it down trackside to Clint, who is with our pole sitter.
We got about 5 minutes, Adam. Ryan Kimball on the pole here tonight. You know, that means your qualifying was decent, but not perfect because you're back around 10th. It brings you up to the front. How do you feel about Flamboro tonight, Ryan?
We feel really good actually today because we did qualify on the pole. So instead of Peterborough, like we made the invert or whatnot. These guys worked really hard in practice. We struggled all day, super tight, through the kitchen sink, and really proud of these guys. They've just been working hard. This is the backup car. We blew a motor at Delaware, so you know, we got this thing ready to go here, and hopefully we'll be good for 100 laps.
You know, sort of an earlier start tonight. The sun's still shining. It's still kind of hot out here tonight. How's that changed the way you guys set up for the long haul tonight?
I mean, that's why we were really nervous in practice because we were so tight, right? So it's Graham GTA racing there made all the right adjustments and qualifying it. So it's really hot today. So hopefully it doesn't tighten up too much, and we just hopefully we got good race trim.
Good luck tonight, guys. Flying Ryan Kimball going to start from position number 1 tonight. We'll keep cruising up and down the grid here.
I just learned something. I didn't realize that's what GTA Racing Designs was Graham Annis.
Annis, yeah.
There you go.
Racing, yeah.
All right. Now I know. All right, he's been around forever. Things I should have known already. So Clinton is with another driver down here on the front straightaway.
Are you watching me, Adam, or you just know where I'm at? Jake, what a run you had at Delaware. Obviously not the finish you wanted. For the fans that were there, what a hell of a show, though. They certainly got their money's worth. You know, you were fast there, dominant car all night long, didn't come home with the win. How much did that suck?
Yeah, it sucks a lot. We've talked about it a lot over the last 2 weeks, so I'm really looking forward to moving on here. And we got a decent piece at Flamboro. It's been a real hard week this week. A lot of guys working really, really hard. They know who they are, so really appreciate WMI. My little brother Nicky here behind us. He's been working really hard in this thing full time, and Jimmy Ireland, Mike Verboom, me and myself here, and a lot of late nights. And it takes a lot to get these cars back out here. So hopefully we can just have a nice clean night tonight, and maybe enjoy a day with the family tomorrow. Would be nice.
I got to wonder how your crew and your dad, mom are dealing with this, because you guys are so fast. Nicky here last night put on a heck of a show. He got in a jingle there at the end of that race, didn't come home with the win, ended up 16th after he was battling for the lead. You know, do you take solace in that the cars are fast and it's eventually going to come, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot to us. Like we work really hard. I mean, I'm not going to hide. A lot of other guys do too. It's not like it's just us. All guys work really hard, but it takes an army. And it seems like 2 weeks in a row here, we got two different brothers and leading the race get taken out. So it's unfortunate. I mean, it's what racing is. Everyone says that doesn't matter if you don't win, but I think we take a lot of pride in all the stuff we do. We work really hard together, and Nikki and I put a lot of late nights in this thing together, just the two of us here. So I like that. I enjoy that part, though. I think it's a lot of fun. We get really close, bond like that, and if we can get a win here like this today, it just makes that even sweeter.
Ryan, quickly before we jump in, Nikki, you can see Jake's pouring in the Pedialyte today to deal with the fluids and keep hydrated. Thanks for your time today, Jake.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it, and hopefully a nice, clean show for the fans today at Flamboro Speedway.
Let's talk to Nikki. Nikki, you were in that 360 race as a rookie coming up. You and Josh Hansen had a heck of a battle, throwing some pretty wild slide jobs at each other. You were not the benefactor of a good one at the end of that race. How painful is it for you today, Nick?
It's pretty painful, and it kind of sounds weird, but it almost hurts a little more today than it does yesterday. It was just, we were real close, and the first one never comes easy, and he ran a great race. Just kind of sucks we got taken out at the end there. It was something that wasn't really, I don't think was our fault, but we'll be there next week and try and do it again.
All right, Nick, you get the tires tight for your brother Jake here. Two great kids in the racing world, guys, and a great future here for these Ontario Sheridan kids.
Has Nick found the drumsticks down there, Clinton? That's what I want to know. That's the important thing. Nick's always on the hunt for ice cream.
Nick, did you find any ice cream? That's what Jamie wants to know. Did you find any ice cream?
I haven't yet, but I am on a mission.
He's on a mission. He doesn't know whether he wants to change tires or find ice cream, guys.
Once in a while in Delaware, we got the ice cream truck that parks on the top of the hill, and every once in a while you'll see Nick between the practice and the heat races flying up the stairs. You know where he's going.
Race fans, we've been given the go-ahead to give the driver introductions tonight for tonight's Flamboro Speedway 100 in the APC series. We're going to start from the back of the field and work our way forward. Starting 21st from Fraserville, the custom forming walls, Bondsma Brother Concrete Pumping number 79, James Horner. Starting 20th from Coldwater, the CM Precision Machining and Welding, number 31, it's Jade Franklin. Starting 19th from Hillsburg, the BW Towing, McMaster GMC Orangeville, BBTS Markdale, number 8, Jordan House.
Starting 18th on the outside of row 9 in the JP Powder Coat Vincent Lawn Equipment, Shaw Motorsports 97. From Cambridge, it's the Polar Blair Wickett. And on the inside,
take it away, Clint.
We'll try and go. There we go. Hey, Blair, you have a lot of laps here at Flamboro. How do you feel coming from the back tonight?
We've put a whole new setup in this car, trying to get more bite off the corner, and we went way too far and got way too much bite, so we're super tight right now, but hopefully it comes in when the laps fall off. So
there you have it from Blair Wickett, guys.
On the inside of row 9 from London, Ontario, former series champ in the Global Warranty, courtesy Ford, number 21, it's Matt Pritico.
Matt, we saw you in a wild crash there 2 weeks ago. What's the story? You car all right?
Yeah, no, complete new front end, new engine, a lot of new stuff on the car. Actually, we're really quick in practice, just had an issue in qualifying, but we should be up at the front pretty quick.
How do you buy some luck, Matt?
Just wait it out. It's a long race, 100 laps. Go the last 30 or 20 and see what we can do.
Matt Critical, guys.
Starting on the outside of row number 8, he'll roll off 16th from Plattsville, the London Recreational Racing, Mannheim Apex Oil, Caldecott Millwright Services, number 89C, Sean Chenoweth.
Well, I'm going to jump in with Sean, too. Sean, you know the quick way around here. Probably got more laps than almost anybody in this field. What's the race going to be like tonight, Sean?
I hope it's a clean race. I think this track, if you get some respect, guys can really race around here, but we've all seen it. It can get pretty bad in a hurry, and hopefully we don't go there tonight. Just get a nice clean race and see if we can pick our way up to the front.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Sean Chenoweth, 89C, guys.
Starting 15th, in the Graham Family Auto Car Quest Gingrich Service Center, Tom Gibbons Concrete Finishing, number 10 from Southampton, it's Tom Gibbons.
Tom, how you feeling tonight? It's still a bit hot out here tonight. We're going to have to stay cool. What's your game plan?
Just be patient and keep the car clean.
Right on. Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Tom Gibbons, guys.
On the outside of row 7, starting 14th from Grimsby, Ontario, he drives the Tricorp Transportation Ace Services, number 32, Treyton Lapsovich.
Treyton, part-timer here tonight, just getting some laps. Does it make it easier for you to just have fun tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I see what we can do here tonight. The qualifying tires threw off our heights a little, but we'll see what we can do at the end of 100 laps.
Right on, Treyton Lapsovich, car 32, boys.
On the inside of row 7 from Guelph, Ontario, driving the NTN Barons, Wellington Systems number 83, inaugural series champ, Dale Shaw.
Dale, another guy who's got a lot of experience here. How are you feeling tonight?
Warm. It was a warm day today, but yeah, I mean, the track just kind of threw us all for a loop and the tires and stuff like that, and that's what makes the series tough and should be a good show tonight.
Same for everybody, right?
Yeah, thanks. And thanks to NTN for helping me out this year, and hope you all enjoy the show tonight.
Dale Shaw, guys, car 83 tonight.
Starting 12th from Dundas, the SDR seating. Stage it with style. Nick's Journey, Chevrolet number 74, Eric Della Riva.
Eric, how do you like it here at Flamboro? Is it a place you feel comfortable?
It's the place I have the most laps at, and the car felt pretty good in qualifying. We had a good balance on it, so hopefully we go forward from here.
Good luck tonight.
Starting 11th from Sauble Beach, the Sauble Falls Tent and Trailer Park. CUSW, Canadian Union of Skilled Workers, Stewart's Equipment number 81, Andrew Gressel.
Andrew, you've had some great runs here this year so far. Can tonight be the night when you put it on the top step?
Well, obviously we hope so, right? We have had some great runs here in the past, so I think we'll have a strong car today, and just hope it's a good, clean race, and we're there at the end.
Right on. Andrew was on the podium when we were here earlier this year, guys. We'll watch for him tonight.
Now that brings us to our top 10 on the outside of row 5 from Oro, Ontario, in the Paragon. Auto trim of Barrie, number 10S. Put your hands together for Gord Shepard.
Gord, how do you like it here at Flamboro?
Oh, it's all right. We qualified good, so we're hoping to stay out of trouble and have a good finish tonight.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Gord Shepard, 10S, guys.
Your point leader, former series champ, inside of row 5 in the Cambridge Rigging Transaxle H2O Mobile Wash number 84. Put those hands together for J.R. Fitzpatrick.
JR, tonight could be the night when you really put a hurting on these guys for the point championship. 4 in a row would make it very difficult for anybody to take this season away from you. What's your plan tonight?
I mean, it's tough, right? Everybody's getting faster, so we just got to keep the car in one piece. We're definitely struggling a little bit with our tire situation going on right now, but, we've worked hard on the car, and it's going to be fast, so we'll be fine. We'll just ride around and hang around until the end.
Good luck, J.R. Fitzpatrick, the point leader, going inside the top 10, guys.
Starting 8th from Dorchester, the APC Auto Parts Centers, Canusa Automotive Warehousing, Miami Muscle, number 3, Shay Gamble.
Shay, we spoke at Delaware. You said your car wasn't great at the start of the race, but it came on strong. How do you think things are going to go for you tonight?
Yeah, this Canusa APC car is pretty strong right out of the get-go. We are pretty good in practice. Had a half-decent qualifying run for us today. I'm very proud of that. And I think we'll have a good car for the end of the 100 laps. We'll keep this thing clean, hopefully stay up front for once, and be there at the end.
Good luck, Shay Gamble, car number 3 tonight, guys.
Starting 7th in the Quick Wick Fire Starter, A.W. Millwright, Stewart's Equipment Chevrolet number 22. He's from Milverton. It's Kyle Steckley.
Kyle, you pulled a rabbit out of the hat last year as a rookie, grabbed your first win. Probably nobody was expecting it. Can you double up here tonight?
Yeah, I really hope so. I think we have a good car here tonight, so hopefully we can keep it clean, get to the front, and hopefully pick up the win.
Quickly, last night's win at Delaware, how does that play into tonight's confidence level?
Yeah, we've had some good momentum going for us at Delaware Speedway, so hopefully we can carry it over here with the APC series and get a good run.
Good luck, Kyle Steckley, car 22, guys.
On the outside of row 3, starting 6th from the Ridgeline Lubricants, Canadian Flat Roof Systems, APC Bruce Service number 17. From Chesley, Ontario, it's primetime Josh Stotty.
Josh, always a solid runner. What do you have to do tonight to put the period at the end of the sentence?
Yeah, I think just be consistent, be there at the end. A lot of guys like to go for it like right off the hop, so hopefully we can just be there after 100 laps and capitalize for once.
Well, if you're going to say that, how long do you ride and when do we going for it?
I don't know how much you can ride, but if the pace is set high, we're going to obviously try and stay with the front runners here and just try and pick them one off one by one here.
Right on. Josh Stotty, car 17, boys.
That brings us to the inside of row 3. Winner at Sunset Speedway earlier on this year, the CM Precision Machining, Sturrock Energy Systems, GreenSteelRoof.ca, Image Wraps 31W from Oro Mediate. It's the 31W of Rick Spencer Waltz.
Rick, you've had some great runs this year. How do you feel about Flamboro?
Well, if we can make her to the end this week without needing a clip and everything else on this car, I think we'll be all right. But thanks to the guys at McCall Racing Enterprise, they put this thing back together. I was down there on Sunday after the race and pulled the motor out with them and everything, went down and helped put the body on. So been working hard. The guys down there have been working hard. The CM Precision Machining, Weldon, Strike Energy car's pretty good tonight. We'll see how it is. It should race really good, so I'm looking forward to it.
Good luck. Rick Spencer Walt, car 31.
Starting 4th, from Orono, Ontario, the Mobile One B&W Enterprises, number 54, Danny Benedict.
Danny, you've been here a few times. What's your feelings about this tough little bull ring?
Man, it's a tough one. I just I can't believe we got this Mobile One McCall Racing Enterprises Camaro back together. We only did one lap in practice and then came out here and qualified 3rd. So just can't say enough about all the guys at MRE. 3 hours ago, I was in a car coming back from London grabbing parts. So just happy to be here. Hopefully we keep it in one piece. Thanks to APC and everyone else for putting this on.
Is there any part of the car you're worried about tonight?
Not anymore.
Good luck, Danny.
Thank you.
With a big smile, no less.
Starting 3rd from Mount Bridges, the Pride Seeds, Vibrant Farms, Cameron Crane, number 52, Jake Sheridan.
And that brings us to our front row starters in the Spire Protection. High Grade Roofing Systems, number 86 from Guelph, Ontario, it's Billy the Kid Schwarzenberg.
Billy, we watched your interview earlier. 2019 was a heck of a season for you. What do you have to do to recapture that magic?
Oh, man, that's tough. I don't know. This class is so tough. We're just trying to get back into contention here and just kind of getting back into the flow of things. I'm happy we're starting up at the front today, and we'll see what happens here.
Good luck, Billy Schwartz, and we're going to go. Car 86, position number 2.
And that brings us to our pole sitter for tonight's 100-lapper here at Flamboro Speedway. Driver of the SMG Motorsports GTA Racing Design, Flatheads Design, number 29 from Norwood, Ontario, your epic pole qualifier, Flying Ryan Kimball.
We got to talk to you quickly there, Ryan. Any final thoughts before you get ready to go for 100 here?
Yeah, hopefully you're going to talk to me 3 times tonight. So we're gonna do our best to keep this SMG Motorsports JBEX out front here. We're gonna do our best to lead all 100 laps here. So, and if we fall back, hopefully something happens and we'll be good to go.
Like we tell all our racing buddies, make sure you're talking to us for the right reasons.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Ryan Kimball going from the front row, guys. There's your starting field for tonight's event.
Race fans, at this time, we invite you to please rise and remove your hats as we welcome Kevin Small to sing the national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Fantastic crowd on hand at Flamboro Speedway. They are ready to see a show. 21 APC drivers getting strapped into these race cars, ready to do battle for 100 challenging, hard-fought, elbows up, Keep the corners on your car. Don't knock the toe out by running into somebody on lap number 1 laps. It's going to be a heck of a show, boys.
Definitely got to be around for the end. Definitely got to have a good car for the end. And again, as we've seen, you definitely got to save your stuff for the end. Again, a lot of guys addressing tires, Adam. I know it's the biggest problem right now is the availability of these slick tires. So, for example, at the Delaware Speedway drivers meeting last night, Luke Ramsey got up in front of all the drivers, said, super stock guys, we got lots of tires. Late model guys don't even bother asking. Like, it's just the racing slicks are in that short of demand. Guys put in their sizes, and what happens is they were getting smaller sizes back. So they did do a scuff session today. The biggest thing of that scuff session was everybody's cars riding a little bit lower because they got smaller tires. The biggest thing with the scuff session was to make sure nobody was bottoming out.
No, and that's something they'd have to find out. We're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, it'll be time to fire things up for tonight. Flamboro Speedway 100.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
On the scene since 1949, Fast Eddie was born with a lead foot and a burning need for speed. His passion for speed and sport has been captured in this authentic collection of vintage-themed gear. Created for gearheads, riders, and racers, Fast Eddie truly encompasses the great Canadian racing culture we have from coast to coast. Drive hard, get dirty, and look good doing it. Fast Eddie Speedwear. Get geared up.
Welcome back to Flamboro Speedway.
Well, Adam, it's that time. Fans, are you ready? Let's hear you make some noise for the APC late models. We're not going to get them going until you get loud. One more time, are you ready? All right, you got to help me out. 3, 2, 1. Drivers, start your engines.
You know, you have to ask yourself sometimes, Jamie, do you believe a race car driver? In that interview, pretty much every one of them except one said, I want to get out front, or said, no, I want to ride. I want to take things easy. The only one that said otherwise was Ryan Kimball. I want to get out front, and I want to lead this entire race.
And if we do get back in the pack, I'm going to come back to the front anyways, he said. So right now, everybody's got a shot to win. Every single one has a shot to win.
A couple of years ago at Frosttoberfest, who was the race winner? Looking down the front straightaway, it's the one at the very back of the pack. It was Jade Franklin in that 31. He's rolling off 20th today. It takes a lot of things to visit Victory Lane in Flamboro Speedway. It takes patience, tenacity, and it takes the racecraft to not use up your equipment early in the race.
It's going to be interesting to see who can save those tires and have the goodie left on them at the end. An absolute chamber of commerce weather here at Flamboro Speedway. John Caselli couldn't have ordered better weather for this evening. It was hot today. It's cooled off just a bit. Sun is shining.
And I've never seen a day so hot that it won't cool off here at Flamboro. Almost always into the evening. This is, like you said, it's beautiful. Little bit of a breeze. I like the tone that we heard from all these drivers. You didn't hear a lot of animosity. I actually like that at the midway point of the APC series, they will be done racing at Flamboro. This is a track where you come to seek revenge. You don't want to do it at Delaware. You didn't want to do it when we raced at Jukasa. But you come to Flamboro, you can conceal a lot of things, not the least of which rubbing someone up, running them up towards the wall. Here, take that. Remember 3 years ago when you stuck it to me? There you go.
Well, we still do have 2 more chances for that because we do go to Sobel twice.
That's right, but I still say Flamboro was the place where people took out their anger. Field rolls to life. Ryan Kimball in the 29, Billy Schwarzenberg in the 86. Look at how pretty these race cars are. I mean, these teams work hard, every race. Between every race.
You saw Clinton, his camera operator, looking good down there in our new Fast Eddie race gear.
I like these shirts. I'm not always a big fan of the way crew shirts look. I really like that. It's a sporty look that Fast Eddie put together for us.
I'm not a fan of black T-shirts. Black subliminal or sublimated wicking shirts I can handle. And good job making. It's tough to make us look good, but they did it.
Right? Man, someone sent me some pictures from the Indy yesterday. I look like Shrek. Like if you were to turn me green, I should talk like Mike Myers.
So this field rolls to life. 20 late models strong. Getting set to settle it for 100 laps here at Flamboro Speedway. Again, your fast qualifier. Missing the track record by about 0.2 of a second. 29 of Flying Ryan Kimball. Former winners here at Flamboro Speedway. Dale Shaw, Sean Chenoweth, Andy Camrath, Matt Pertico, Billy Schwarzenberg, and Kyle Steckley, all with 1. Andrew Gressel, Brandon Watson both had 2, and J.R. Fitzpatrick with 3.
Race fans, I'll tell you what. Get up on your feet, grab your hat, grab your program, grab whatever you got nearby. Give these APC drivers a wave, folks. They are about to do battle for 100 laps for your entertainment. The hours they spend working on these race cars in the shop, making them pretty, shining them up. Thank you for showing these drivers we appreciate what they do, and you better know they appreciate you.
So an interesting story. Of course, Matt Pertico's cousin, Connor Pertico, has been running weekly at Delaware. Matt Pertico had the brand new car out 2 weeks ago at Delaware, and we had the chance to ask him, how come Connor wasn't racing? He said, well, we took all the parts off of Connor's car and put them on mine.
Ooh.
And then he had that unfortunate incident on the backstretch. So Jordan had the chance to ask him last night, who's got what parts now? He says, we kind of divvied them up. Like when you were playing road hockey and you start throwing sticks. You get these brakes, you get these brakes.
Ultimately, you do what you have to do.
See how Matt Pertico does starting deep in the field. But again, the former champ, no reason he can't come to the front and taste victory here tonight.
Pace car wheels off the inside of the racetrack. Ryan Kimball on the inside. In the number 29, Billy Schwarzenberg in the green, number 86 up high. We are under green for 100 laps.
Into one, they work for the first time. The scramble is on. They're still rack stacked and packed, double wide all the way back. Battle out front, still door handle to door handle. It's Schwarzenberg high, and it's Flying Ryan Kimball on the bottom.
Schwarzenberg doing a great job on that high side. Everybody, the whole field, all the way back through the first 6-7 rows, still double file working around the racetrack. Kimball clears the 86 of Schwarzenberg. Jake Sheridan not going to let Schwarzenberg get to the bottom. Billy doesn't look like he cares one bit. He's up on the high side making hay.
Looked like the 29 credited with that first lap definitely led the second lap as he's shuffled his way out front. Battle for second on down into 3 and 4. It's Jake the Snake Sheridan on the bottom. Billy the Kid up top. Sheridan's going to get the spot. Now Schwarzenberg, he's fallen in the clutches of the 31W of Rick Spencer Walt.
I'll tell you what, nice bit of driving by Billy Schwarzenberg. Nice bit of spotting by a spotter to get him down in line in front of Rick Spencer Walt. He'll settle into third. I got to think he'd be happy with that. Still double wide, Rick Spencer Walt in the 31, the 54 of Danny Benedict.
How many laps have these two raced side by side over the years up at Sunset Speedway? They're battling for fourth here at Flamboro tonight. Rick Spencer Walt on the bottom, Danny Benedict up top in that Mobile One machine. They still race side by side through 1 and 2. A great battle here going on down the backstretch for fourth.
Kyle Steckley, he's leaving about a car length between himself and that battle in front of him. Is Shea Gemmel looking to the inside of Josh Dottie. They are still side by side with no sign of changing. Further back, Dale Shaw just cleared the 32 of Treyton Lapsovich. That leaves Lapsovich to battle with the 89C of Sean Chenoweth.
Spencer Walt came in tonight 6 in points. Danny Benedict in 7. So this is really for the points as they run right now. You see Benedict on the high side, not able to clear Spencer Walt. Now he will clear Walt, slams the door down into 3. Give Danny Benedict sole possession of P4.
Big problem for Blair Wickett down the back straightaway in the 97. He made some contact, I believe, with Treyton Lapsovich, but he doesn't look like he's in any hurry to get anywhere. Yellow flag flies. That is a very courteous yellow flag being thrown by Sean Gibbs, race director Trevor Hambley. Maybe they feel there could be some fluid on the racetrack. Blair Wickett, the Polar Blair, was fairly confident coming into today, but something looks amiss in the back end, unless it's just because the back tires are on grass. That car looks like it's squatted down at the back, Clint.
He's got the window net down. Clint showing up. We'll see if we can get a word with Blair Wickett.
Well, he's just getting the gear off, guys, but we're hearing a drive shaft is what Blair has said. So that's the problem. A bit dejected, as you can imagine. We'll let him get his stuff off and jump in there, guys.
Oh, man. That is unfortunate. They've done a lot of work on that race car this season. He hasn't had the results they would have hoped for, Clint, but they haven't had the horrible luck that we've seen plague Blair Wickett over the course of his career.
That car's been good, just like you said, had some issues that have plagued him. Now they're going to pick him up from the back, so this will be a bit of an extended yellow here, and we'll get a chance to talk to Blair in just a moment, guys. He's just about got the helmet off.
Where did the drive shaft wind up, Clinton?
I'm waiting for them to lift it up. I don't see it, and that means maybe just a U-joint broke, but a good job by him to get down to not drop any oil out. Blair, quickly, you figure it's the drive shaft?
Yeah, I got no more drive in it. We built these cars, bite to them that they're going hard. Last week, and I got a feeling that's what went this week. So.
All right, there you go. And in case you missed, he said we're getting so much bite with these cars that they're just snapping these drive shafts at them.
Yeah, and you know what? It is a problem. If you watch, I mean, J.R. Fitzpatrick for a couple of years when he was playing around with some different funky setups, that car would almost twist itself into a pretzel off the corners. It was getting so much bite.
I don't see how that's I mean, you got to fix the other part to go with it, but it's not a bad problem to have grip off the corner.
No, but there comes a point where something's got to give. So Blair Wickett in the Vincent Lawn and Garden Rymat Mini Storage, sponsored number 97. I mean, that car is always beautiful. That color red on that race car is something pretty. Blair Wickett just shaking his head. But as I say, in the gamut of things that can take you out of a race, I mean, last year, this is how his luck goes. His throttle hung, I believe, in practice. Something failed and destroyed the car here at Flamboro Speedway in practice.
Well, Adam, I don't know if you can see this, but here's the issue here. So he says the rear end is all twisted up, so something in the mounts have broken. It's taken out the drive shaft, and you can see he was carrying around a spring, but this should not be touching here. There should obviously be some clearance there. That's an issue. So the car is setting down. When it tore up the brackets, it ripped the rear end out of the car, and he's got more problems than just a drive shaft. We'll try and get a look under it when they lift it up, guys.
So that's a bit more expensive. So what happens, whatever... There are bars in the car that locate the rear end. Keep it from twisting left and right. Keep it from twisting forward and backwards. Once one of them breaks, as soon as it tweaks, it'll rip the drive shaft out. So now you run the risk of wrecking a transmission, wrecking a rear end, on top of whatever damage occurs when that rear end twists in the race car.
And again, to be devil's advocate, yeah, something's broke on the rear end. Something could be broke in the drive shaft, but luckily it didn't end up, back first in the wall, right, where you've got bigger issues. So
we've seen that as well.
The other thing that's going on, guys, we can smell the rear end gear, and it's got a very distinct smell. So something is obviously tore up with the gear train in this car. Could be a rear end issue. Could be just leaking out the front. If the drive shaft yoke is tore out, we'll try and find out what's up.
I'll tell you what is disappointing to me. These drivers, all 21 of them, did a great job. It took a number of laps, but they did a great job getting sorted out, getting themselves eventually to single file and showing respect. Now we got to stack them all up again and do it again. And they can do it again. But will they?
You never know. Once the green drops, we will find out as you see him putting the final touches on that hookup down there. Blair Wickett going off on the business end of the hook tonight.
Guys, just want to show you, there's all kinds of lightweight supports and that in there, and if they just rip on these, it's going to rip the body off, so they're being very careful to get it around the frame section itself. And Blair wanted to make sure. And here we see the wheel drop back to its normal situation, guys. As we look under it, yes, all kinds of issues, and I can show it to you here quickly.
Clint, when they lift it up, just grab the right rear wheel and move it forward and backward. You'll be able to move the whole thing. It'll be slopping around.
Well, there's the drive shaft sitting underneath the car, guys, as they try to back this one away on the tow truck.
That is definitely out of the car.
Looks like it's got the snout of the transmission with it.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. It looks like it tore up some extra problems down here, and he's got some real issues.
And those transmissions are expensive that they run in these. I mean, everything is expensive on a race car. Blair has a good job. He's a 310 truck mechanic. They get paid fairly well, but this game gets so expensive.
So first caution here early on in tonight's event.
We're going to take another quick break. They're all going to be quick breaks from here on out. We'll be back in about 60 seconds on G-Force TV. Welcome back to Flamboro Speedway. 100 laps is the distance. 7 laps are complete in this one. We were just remarking, not a lot of marks on these cars, and Jamie suggested on some of the cars they may be ongoing donuts, which actually describes my adult life.
Well, guys, I don't know if you can see the Spencer pick it up. This is the rear end out of the car. This is the front pinion out of the drive shaft. Is all tore up here, and that was laying underneath the car here for Blair Wickett, guys.
And when those aren't attached, the car won't go.
No, and if that's the front of the drive shaft, as I say, that's the snout of the transmission. I don't think these transmissions are built in components that you could replace that, but I could be wrong.
Someone needs to hold that.
Clinton talking about someone holding. I don't know if Blair's still in the car to hold the steering wheel straight.
No, he's not, and the front wheels are flopping around. I'd be surprised if they get this one off without an issue, guys.
No, that's where you set the car down right there, and you call it a night, and you come back later on.
Well, Blair's in the truck. He didn't walk away, so it wasn't one of those type of driver anger issues.
Perfect. Then just, Blair, hop back in the car and hang on to that steering wheel, or you're going to have front end damage to go with the back end damage. So Ryan Kimball, the race leader after a hard-fought battle at the start. Billy Schwarzenberg did a real good job up on the high side. He did lose the second spot to Jake Sheridan, but it might work out to his benefit as he gets the opportunity to restart in the third position here, the inside of row number 2. Running in fourth is Danny Benedict in the 54. The 31 of Rick Spencer Walt is 5th. Kyle Steckley is 6th in the 22. Then it's the 17 of Josh Stoddy, the 3 of Shea Gemmel, the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick, and the 10S of Gord Shepard.
So in 11th, you got the 81 of Andrew Gressel, 12th, Eric Della Riva, 13th, the NTN machine of Dale Shaw, 14th, Sean Chenoweth, 15th, Tom Gibbons, 16th, Matt Pritico. In the 21, 17th is Jordan House in the 18th, the 31 of Jade Franklin, 19th, James Horner, And 20th, final car still running on the track, Treyton Lapsovich in that 32.
In what universe is Matt Pritico not in the top 15?
Again, a struggle in qualifying tonight. I don't think he's going to end up there. It's a long ways to go.
Possibly not, but it shows the depth of this field. I mean, everyone in front of him deserves to be out there in front of him. This is a deep, deep field. The field is doubled up and ready for the restart.
And we talked early on, if you remember the first two races of the year, Danny Benedict struggled, qualified outside the top 10 in both races. Started, I believe, 16th and 15th in both races. He was able to make his way up to 4th or 5th. The problem is, from starting back there, you have to use so much car to get there that there might not be a lot left when it comes. Oh, we've got a big change up front. The 52 of Jake Sheridan ducks to pit road. A problem on the 52.
Wow, Sheridan peels off into the pits on the 1 to go lap, so there's not even a courtesy lap for him. We're going back to green.
Green's out. This time it's going to be Danny Benedict challenging the 29 of Kimball. Kimball pushes him way up the speedway. Benedict tries to pinch him down. They're still side by side through 3 and 4.
Off corner number 4, Danny Benedict rolls the outside of the corner. He's going to lead that lap in the number 54.
Danny Benedict, your first lap leader here tonight, not named Flying Ryan Kimball. And you see Kyle Steckley playing kitty by the door, trying to figure out who to follow. It's going to be another lap led for Benedict. Can't quite clear Kimball down into 1.
That was not a good restart for Billy Schwarzenberg as he has dropped back to the 5th spot. Ryan Kimball really sailed it down into the corner at 1 and 2. They made some contact with Benedict, but Danny Benedict is not giving up. He is still on the high side. We'll see who led that lap as Kimball again drives it deep into the corner.
Still Benedict fighting on the outside, but now it seems like Kimball has rolled the bottom. He's going to clear Benedict. He'll be able to run his line, but it's left Benedict in some hot water. He's got the 22 to his left-hand side.
I'll tell you what I think that did for Ryan Kimball. I think he used up his freebies with Danny Benedict, charging the corner as hard as he did, putting Benedict in a bad spot. Nothing terribly dirty, but I don't think Danny Benedict will cut him any breaks as the race goes on, as Shea Gemmel working his way up to the 3rd spot.
Well, you can see, especially from that turn 1 camera, as they go through 1 and 2, Kimball just running a little bit higher than everybody else through the corners. See, he makes his way down through 1 and 2, and Shea Gemmel, Kyle Steckley running about 2 or 3 feet down lower than the 29 is.
What's going to happen at this point? The field is strung out single file. You're going to see what these drivers have. They got to settle in. As the race goes on, you'll see who's got a good long race setup, and you'll see who doesn't, as Jordan House gets all sorts of sideways off of turn 4.
He had a moment swatting flies after some contact with Tom Gibbons there off turn 4. We'll see House trying to get to the inside of Gibbons again. Now back up front. Kyle Steckley trying to stalk your leader, Flying Ryan Kimball.
Jamie, I think the drivers were telling us the truth. I think they were honest. They wanted to settle in, see what this race was going to hold for them, because they're doing a good job. They've kept their calm. They're out there single file, sorting things out as the race goes.
Only group that was side by side and just briefly was back in about 19th spot, where Chenoweth picked up a spot over Eric Della Riva. The whole field running single file and just riding, putting laps in, picking them up, laying them down. And Ryan Kimball still looking for that first career win. He's out front and leading former feature winners. Kyle Steckley, winner here at Flamboro last year. And the 3 of Shea Gemmel, winner up at Sauble a few years ago.
Shea's goal was to get towards the front. He was pleased he qualified in the top 10. He did not want to have to come through the field and use up race car. So far, so good. Last lap, I'm seeing a little bit of smoke off the back end of the 10 of Tom Gibbons. Jamie, have a look at him next time into turn number 1. I think there's some wisps of smoke out the rear end of that car.
We'll take a look at the 10 of Gibbons. And again, we talked about Benedict and those first couple races of the year where he qualified outside the top 10 and had to use up his stuff. That's kind of the situation Gemmel was in at Delaware a few weeks ago. Had to race his way up towards the front. Kind of ran out of stuff when he got there. Still a podium finish for the 3, though.
J.R. Fitzpatrick to the inside of Josh Dottie. He'll pick up that spot. Andrew Greselman and try to follow him through. He drives it deep down into turn number 3. They'll come off of 4, and I don't think Josh Stotty has much opportunity to battle back. Gord Shepard, hey, the door's open. I'm coming through as well. This could be trouble for Josh Stotty.
Yeah, they put Stotty in a world of hurt. 3 of them get by now. He closes the door on Dale Shaw, cut right across the nose of that NTN bearing number 83. Got in line, and we'll see what happens. Definitely, as this run goes, and those leaders start coming up on the back of the pack, that's when it's go time for those guys in the back half of the field.
They're all so fast. I mean, James Horner is the last running car on the racetrack. He's not even half a lap behind. He's about half a lap behind. That's a tightly bunched 20-car field here at Flamboro Speedway.
Especially when we've been back green for 20 laps now. So, well, we talk about how competitive it is and how close the cars are. Just another example of this here tonight as they run single file.
Matt Pritico looking to make a move on Jordan House. They are the first 2 cars off of the lead pack. The top 12 nose to tail with Tom Gibbons in 12th. Now Matt Pritico gets to the inside of Jordan House. That's a pass for the 13th spot. Treyton Lapsovich trying to get to the inside as well to make that move.
And I believe Pritico restarted 16th and Lapsovich 19th. So they have slowly picked up a few spots, up to 13th and 14th. Pritico, former series champ. Lapsovich, a former winner on tour. Now they got to run down that next group.
Billy Schwarzenberg drives the 86 car. He's running in the 5th spot, just a couple of car lengths off the back end of Danny Benedict. But that car does not look like it's handling as well as the top 4. It looks to me like he's having to muscle the car off the turn just a little bit. It's not a big deal right now. He can keep up. But if you have to manipulate that car over the course of this race to keep it in the groove, it will wear out faster than the other race cars.
Seems to be really loose coming out. And if you look at him on the right rear of Billy Schwarzenberg's car, I believe he's got into the concrete.
Battle for the lead. Kyle Steckley to the inside of Ryan Kimball. Kimball loose off of turn number 4, side by side down the front stretch.
Kimball trying to show some muscle on the outside. Steckley sticks it in there, gave him lots of racing room. Contact. Now they get single file for the lead. Steckley, clear him. Here comes Kimball to the bottom. How about that?
Big old bump. Shea Kimball to the lead. Danny Benedict is 2nd. Kyle Steckley's going to try to settle into 3rd. Ryan Kimball, you could see that he muscled his way in front of Shea Kimball, trying to get to the back bumper of Kyle Steckley, and he did. Now he's closed the door on Rick Spencer-Walt, so Ryan Kimball back to the 5th spot.
Well, Spencer-Walt tried to get underneath Kimball that time off turn 4, but when he hit the loud pedal, back end slid out of the car. He was forced to tuck up in line, and again, you see Schwarzenberg, I think he's holding that whole group up. And again, there is definitely damage on the right rear of Schwarzenberg's car.
Well, Schwarzenberg, the good fortune for him is that Ryan Kimball has to be more focused on what's in his rearview mirror, and that's Rick Spencer-Walt, J.R. Fitzpatrick right behind him. Business is picking up in that part of the racetrack as Danny Benedict gets loose in turn number 2. That costs him a couple car lengths to the race leader.
How about Shea Gemmel, the Dorchester driver, running his own program here in 2022, picking up sponsorship from APC, Canusa, and Miami Muscle. Longtime Delaware Speedway standout. Cut his teeth in go-karts at the Grand Bend Speedway. Leading the way here tonight, looking for career feature win number 2.
Gord Shepard putting the pressure on Andrew Gressel's number 81. That's a little deeper in the top 10, but Gressel not able to keep that Zabel Falls Tents and Trailer Park number 81 glued to the bottom of the racetrack. So right in the center of the corners, Gord Shepard's been able to stick a nose just to the inside. Not quite enough to make a move just yet, but that's a battle we're going to keep an eye on as out in front. Shea Gemmel is opening his advantage over Danny Benedict.
Well, we'll see if Gressel's car just seems to be loose through the middle of the corner. You see as soon as he steps on the gas, the rear end of the car starts to slide out. Now you can see he's trying to work the corners a little higher to maybe tighten that car up a bit with a different line, and it seems to be working now.
J.R. Fitzpatrick got a little loose there in turn 4. Watching Rick Spencer-Walt and Fitzpatrick putting the pressure on Ryan Kimball in the 29. Walt with a great run off of turn number 2. Sticks his nose to the inside of Kimball. They race down into 3 and 4. Little bit of contact. Kimball tried to close the door. Spencer Walt had his nose there, was having none of it.
And again, the 29 tries to close the door on Spencer Walt, but this time he gets hip checked into the upper groove, and it'll cost him a couple spots as he tucks in the line behind point leader J.R. Fitzpatrick. Now all the way back to 6th, 7th spot, looks like, for the 29 of Kimball.
Josh Stoddy with a good run on Gord Shepard down the backstretch. Shepard drives it deep down into 3 to close the door, defend that move of Stoddy, but we're really starting to see cars that were at the back a little bit quicker than their competitors ahead of them. And you have to be a lot quicker to really make a move unless you want to start gouging people, and it's pretty early in the race for bumps and runs. We saw that with Ryan Kimball. It did not end up well.
Well, there's comers and goers. Obviously, some guys from outside the top 10, now inside the top 10. Dale Shaw on the charge up to 11th. He's had a good run here. Matt Pritico sits 13th, but remember we were talking about Pritico and Lapsovich. They've now almost caught Tom Gibbons as this race stays green. They got some work to do after starting deep in the field.
They're turning their laps. They're not abusing the race cars, but they're able to run a pace a little bit quicker because they don't have to check up for anything. What we're seeing from the drivers in front of them, it's not a huge deal, but every once in a while they've got to check up for action happening ahead of them, like Josh Stoddy making a move on Gord Shepard. And as Pritico and Lapsovich don't have to have that hesitation, they're really able to close into that pack, and Pritico is basically there.
That Stoddy Shepard battle still goes on through 1 and 2, but Fitzpatrick gets a little loose, trying to get a run underneath Rick Spencer Walt, unable to get it done. Spencer Walt tries to reel in that 10 car lengths, 7 car lengths between him and Billy Schwarzenberg.
I've seen the back end step out on J.R. Fitzpatrick a couple of times under acceleration. As now Benedict and Kyle Steckley get to the outside of Jade Franklin.
So your leaders now getting into some lap traffic. Still a straightaway before Gemmel will hit that 79 car of James Horner. And if we stay green, maybe another 10, 15 laps. That's when lap traffic's really going to come into play. Here we got a change for position, possibly. Fitzpatrick to the inside of Spencer Walt. He piles it in on the bottom. The 84 down low. The 31 up top. Drag race down the backstretch.
Oh, trouble for Sean Chenoweth in the 89C. He is off the pace. He's going to turn that car into the infield.
Yellow flag. And it looks like 4 problems on that Chenoweth car.
Right at the halfway mark of this race. 49 laps complete. They were about to take the halfway from Sean Gibbs. Now they are not.
So Chenoweth, who he was slowly picking his way forward there. Definitely big problems on that 89C. He was in action last night in the Super Stock, picked up a heat race win.
He keeps himself busy, that's for sure.
They like to race, that's for sure.
Clinton Jeffrey approaches the 89C as Sean Chenoweth.
Looks like Jade Franklin's going to get our
lucky guys. Dog. He's calling for a push, guys. The car was not under fire when we got on the scene. Didn't appear to have any other issues other than was not alive.
J.R. Fitzpatrick has to concede that position to the 31 of Rick Spencer Walt in the APC series. Under caution, they go back to the last completed lap. So at the completion of lap 49, Rick Spencer Walt was ahead of J.R. Fitzpatrick. And I don't know if that's a bad thing for JR. It's going to put him up in that outside groove. He's pretty comfortable anywhere here at Flamboro Speedway. It really depends on what the cars in front of him do on that restart. But again, we're seeing some excellent racing out there. Ryan Kimball in the 29, waving his hand out the window. Not sure if he's headed pit side or if they had to make a correction to the running order.
And it looks like big problems for the 29. Exit stage right.
Well, he had the perfect plan. Get out front, stay out front, win the race. But other drivers in the field, other cars in the race did not allow for that plan to come to fruition, and Ryan Kimball heads pit side in that SMG Motorsports number 29. We're going to go back to green out of turn number 4. 1 lap shy of the halfway. We're going to go with a quick fire it up, race fans. Billy Schwarzenberg, did not come up to speed very well. Some contact with the wall. Gord Shepard has to bite the brakes. He lost some spots in that. But Billy Schwarzenberg, that car did not come up to speed very well at all on that restart.
That's some good contact there between the 3 and the 54. One driver absent tonight. I did see him earlier. We will see Sean McGlynn out soon. Still working on his car. Hasn't got it put back together again.
Always like seeing Sean McGlynn out at the races. A long-time stock car racer is J.R. Fitzpatrick on the inside of Andrew Gressel. They battle for that 5th position.
And J.R. Fitzpatrick is going to get the spot to the inside of the Road Warrior.
Josh Stoddy trying to keep his nose to the inside, but Gressel closes the door. Stoddy gives him a shove, but not enough to move him out of the groove.
And the 81, the 17, the 10. God, how many Saturday nights of racing against each other have they had over the years? All up at Sauble Speedway.
Matt Pritico now on the inside of Billy Schwarzenberg. He'll make that pass. James Horner trying to follow him through in the 79. Horner couldn't quite fill the hole there. He's got Treyton Lapsovich right behind him. And Josh Stoddy still knocking on the back door of the Gressel number 81.
Pritico's cleared that pack. Now he's got to reel in a 10 again. This time it's the 10S of Shepard. There you see your former champion, Billy Schwarzenberg. We got one off the pace off turn 2. Della Riva bobbled. Allowed the 10S of Shepard to get by. He's going to fall into the clutches of Pritico.
Yeah, he bobbled and then dropped back. He was off the pace, but it looks like he's back up to speed now as they work through 1 and 2. Josh Stoddy still trying to work on the 81 of Andrew Gressel. He is right up under the back bumper of the veteran Gressel from Sauble Beach. Gives him a nudge off of turn number 4. Now we'll get to the inside. I believe Josh Stoddy will complete that pass.
Yeah, Stoddy makes the pass on Gressel. The 10 of Gibbons can't pull it off as well. Shaw right there as well. 4 cars in that pack, all racing from 7th on back or 6th on back now, and Stoddy up in the 6th spot. So far, fastest lap of the race belongs to the 29 of Kimball. But again, we haven't seen him since he went off just before that restart.
I wanted to see what J.R. Fitzpatrick would do in some open racetrack, and he's running well, but he is not faster than the cars ahead of him right now in that number 84. So what we've seen the last few races is Fitzpatrick just, I want to say dominant, but he's won all 3 because he was just a touch faster than the field. Right now, there's a few cars out there quicker than that number 84.
I think the 2 fastest cars out on the track are those 2 APC twins running out front, the 3 and the 22.
Big old wiggle off of turn number 4 as Gord Shepard into the back of Jordan House. Jordan House sends it down into turn 1. Give him a nudge to get him back. Now he's to the inside. They'll race down into turn number 3, and Gord Shepard drives it deep and takes that spot. But Jordan House right back to the back bumper.
Yeah, House trying to keep that spot. There you see him just planting that nose right underneath the spoiler of the 10S of Shepard. Eric Della Riva just got a great seat for the action here, chasing behind these 2. This is all going on for 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Out in front, Shea Gemmel has 2 car lengths advantage over Kyle Steckley. We haven't focused a ton on that battle because it's pretty calm. Danny Benedict runs in the 3rd spot in the 54. He is all by himself. Rick Spencer-Walt is under attack from J.R. Fitzpatrick in the 84. That's probably the best battle right now with the exception of Dale Shaw. Side by side, door to door down the front straightaway with Tom Gibbons.
Shaw makes short work of Gibbons, and again now all eyes turn to that battle for 4th. Off turn 3 and 4. Rick Spencer-Walt holds the spot. J.R. Fitzpatrick wants it in that Cambridge rigging number 84. It's the CM Precision machine of Rick Spencer-Walt. There it is, your only 2 winners so far this year, battling it out for 4th spot.
Further back in the field, Treyton Lapsovich on the inside of Billy Schwarzenberg. That's for a battle deep in the top 20 right now. The leader, Shea Gemmel, working up behind Jade Franklin through 3 and 4. They're about a straightaway behind a 3-car battle with Treyton Lapsovich, Billy Schwarzenberg, and James Horner.
A little contact between Fitzpatrick and the 31 of Spencer-Walt. And a big slide off turn 2 for Fitzpatrick, and all the ground he gained, he just lost. Less than 30 to go.
Matt Pritico just made a move to get around Jordan House. Eric Della Riva tried to do it as well, but he couldn't get the power down. Had to fall behind that number 8. Eric Della Riva going to try to set that up again, take another run at the 8 of House.
House in the 8 trying to get back to Matt Pritico. Looks like the handle going away on that 8 car. And
yeah, he's had his struggles the last few laps.
Fitzpatrick has caught Rick Spencer-Walt again. And Kyle Steckley hasn't gone anywhere. He's still right there.
He's matching Shea Gemmel lap for lap right now. I mean, those 2 are running very similar times on the racetrack, but Steckley has not got to within 1 car length of the race leader.
Again, Shea Gemmel grew up racing go-karts at Grand Bend. Graduated to a truck at Delaware. Moved through the Super Stocks ranks and into a late model before going on the APC Tour. He's been a championship contender before.
Battle for position deep in the top 10. Dale Shaw looking for the 7th spot. He gets to the inside of Andrew Grezel off of turn number 4.
And the Road Warrior struggles continue here tonight. Oh, a little contact down there in 1 and 2. And now here's Fitzpatrick to the driver's side of Spencer-Walt. They bang off each other off turn 4. Spencer-Walt really trying to pinch Fitzpatrick down, but Fitzpatrick will pull off the pass coming out of 2.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick gave him a real good nudge in 1 and 2 there a lap or 2 ago and got Spencer-Walt all sorts of loose. He'll complete that pass and then try to get away from the 31 of Spencer-Walt.
He's got a long ways to go. He's a whole straightaway behind Danny Benedict, who runs 3rd. Again, Gemmel, your leader. A couple car lengths back is Kyle Steckley in the 22.
And in case you're wondering, folks, it is go time. It's 20 laps to go this time at the stripe for Shea Gemmel in the 3. They have got a whack of slower traffic just ahead of them as Kyle Steckley right up on the rear deck, just about a car length behind the race leader.
Well, I think it's up to those 2 to settle this one themselves right now. Benedict a whole straightaway behind these leaders. Unless we get a yellow, those 2 cars are going to be the one fighting for the win. Gemmel and Steckley. Again, a straightaway back to Benedict and another straightaway back to Fitzpatrick. Spencer-Walt, the 17 of Stoddy. Then Shaw, Gressel, Gibbons, and Shepard round out the top 10.
Gemmel doing a nice job in lap traffic. Kyle Steckley is definitely closed in. He's right up on the back bumper of that number 3 as Gemmel gets loose off of turn 2.
Big moment for Shea Gemmel. The rear end started to step out on him. And now Kyle Steckley is officially there.
About a foot off the back bumper, Kyle Steckley running, and turn 2 is the weak spot for Shea Gemmel. Last lap he got real loose. This lap he got a little bit loose. Gemmel has to figure out something on these corner exits because Kyle Steckley is rolling and rolling well.
And Kyle Steckley, your 2021 Flamboro Speedway late model champ. Good run on Gemmel here down into 3.
Gemmel will drive it deep down into the corner. Nothing Kyle Steckley can do. I actually think Gemmel might want to consider running a little bit higher on the racetrack. He keeps getting down on the bottom, and the car does not like it one bit.
See if he tries to free it up on exit of turn 2. That's where he's getting into big trouble. That's where he is getting beat by Kyle Steckley. Steckley is there. And the question becomes here in the late going, does Kyle Steckley move the 3?
I think all's fair in this race, but Kyle's going to take a bunch of clean runs at him. I don't think that's part of his game plan, is to really get into the back of anybody until the money's on the line. A little further back, Josh Stoddy making contact with the 31 of Rick Spencer-Walt. Right in the center of 3 and 4, but Stoddy is putting the pressure on the 31.
Stoddy cars come to life here late. He's battling for a spot in the top 5. Your leader's now working around Billy Schwarzenberg. Well, not quite. Trying to figure out a way around Schwarzenberg.
And Billy Schwarzenberg is giving the outside away. If you're going to go around me, go to the outside. Shea Gemmel wanted to go to the bottom. There was nothing there. He swings to the outside in 3 and 4, and they put Schwarzenberg a lap down.
And now we're down to 14 cars left on the lead lap. The next one on the chopping block, Treyton Lapsovich, who is trying to bypass Eric De La Riva right now. This is all going on about half a straightaway in front of your leaders. Your leaders are going to catch them shortly. Going to be 10 to go. Well, 10 to go at the line this time by.
Side by side, Josh Stoddy with Rick Spencer-Walt. This is a battle for 5th. Down into turn number 1. Spencer-Walt tries to close the door, squeeze down the 17 of Stoddy. Stoddy fighting hard to maintain that track position. He'll try again in 3 and 4.
See if Dale Shaw can capitalize. Well, Stoddy's got Spencer-Walt kicked up off the bottom. All the eyes now swing back to the lead, where Kyle Steckley continues to stalk Shea Gemmel in a big wiggle. And Shea had to throw the block on Steckley that time.
First time we've really watched Gemmel get defensive out there. He moved down the racetrack, now down the back straightaway. Steckley shows his nose to the inside, doesn't make a move. A great battle as well between Stoddy, the 31 of Rick Spencer-Walt, and the 83 of Dale Shaw. That's a 3-car battle for 5th.
Couple of APC sponsored entries going at it for the win. 7 to go, going to be 6 to go at the line. Just 2 miles of racing left here at Flamboro Speedway in the Flamboro 100.
Jade Franklin's done a great job this whole race, keeping out of the way since he got that damage earlier on. He's a little off the pace. He stays to the inside. Shea Gemmel smartly doesn't clear the 31 until he gets halfway through the corner. Make life a little bit difficult for Kyle Steckley right behind him. 5 laps remain.
Steckley was roughing Gemmel up coming off turn 2. Little bumper shot there last time.
How about our 3rd place driver, Danny Benedict? He is now only about 3 car lengths off of Kyle Steckley in the 22. They had a big gap about 5 laps ago, but that gap is evaporating. Could be a 3-car battle to the finish here, as there's still 3.5 laps left to go.
Well, the 54 of Benedict's got to go to the whip. He's still a couple car lengths back as the laps tick down. He's back in the picture, but not quite in the picture for the win. 3 to go now. Off turn 2, it's still Gemmel with the lead. Steckley follows him, matches him pace for pace down the backstretch.
I don't know if they're going to catch up to the Eric De La Riva 74 before this race ends, but Shea Gemmel all over his mirror, trying to keep Kyle Steckley behind. Steckley to the inside of a turn 2.
Steckley makes the bid for the lead down the backstretch into 3 and 4. Going to be a white flag this time by at the line. Benedict gets into the back of Gemmel. Steckley, your new leader at the line of the white flag.
What a clean pass. Kyle Steckley did it right. He shadowed the 3 of Shea Gemmel. He made his move when it counted on the back straightaway with a lap and a half to go, and he's going to do it again. Kyle Steckley with the win here at Flamboro Speedway. Shea Gemmel 2nd, Danny Benedict 3rd, 4th, J.R. Fitzpatrick in the 84, 5th. To the 17 of Josh Stoddy.
Yeah, 6th is going to be Dale Shaw. 7th, Rick Spencer-Walt. 8th, the 81 of Gressel. 9th, Tom Gibbons. And the 10S of Gord Shepard will round out the top 10.
Race fans, what a show. What a battle. Shea Gemmel did everything he could, but about 10 laps to go, maybe 12 laps to go, you could see the handling had gone away on that 3 machine, and Kyle Steckley played it well.
He did. He kept putting the pressure on him again. The biggest part where Gemmel was having problems was getting that gas, or getting the tires to get traction coming off turn 2 when he hopped on the loud pedal. And finally, it just cost him. There was a little contact. It wasn't a whole lot, just enough to move him up. And Gemmel was driving with the mirror and ended up costing him there. He blew the corner just a bit and gave Steckley the opening. Steckley had been waiting for that mistake for 15 laps before that, and Shea finally made it just by a couple feet.
I'm impressed that Shea Gemmel, once Steckley got there, Gemmel ran it clean. I mean, he could have driven down to get his driver's door on the right front of the 22, but I think he had to have shown some respect because Kyle Steckley showed him the respect to try it clean. But we're going to hear from them in victory lane. Clinton Jeffrey is down there on the scene waiting for the arrival of young Kyle Steckley as we look at that replay. And I mean, any contact there is just the ultimate in short track racing respect. It's actually Kyle Steckley trying to stay off of the left rear corner of the 3 of Shea Gemmel to make that pass. Let's send it to victory lane where Clinton Jeffrey is awaiting our race winner.
Thanks, Adam. Kyle Steckley gets all the safety gear off here. The car getting a little bit hot as he shuts it off. Dad's got in to check pressures and make sure they've got everything going. Or sorry, Dad's got in now to congratulate. What a great picture-perfect run for Kyle here tonight. Waited till the exact prime time to take it away. We'll see what Shea Gemmel has to say. He's going to be a little bit disappointed, you can imagine. But helmet comes off for Kyle Steckley. He'll get the safety gear up out of the way and jump out and talk to us in just a moment's time here.
Next week, the NASCAR Pinty Series heads west to Saskatoon, where Kyle Steckley's going to make his debut, but he's about to climb out of this race car as he gets some congratulations. Take it away, Clint.
Well, he's out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. How about it? A big Flamboro Speedway. Quick victory lane. Welcome for your winner, Kyle Steckley. Kyle, another one here at Flamboro. You got your first one done here. And, man, talk about those last 30 or 40 laps. Just riding stock and Shea lap after lap, trying to race him clean at the end. Talk about the pass.
Yeah, you know, I was kind of just riding there. He looked like he was getting a little tight, and I was trying to make a move for quite a few laps. And he was blocking the bottom pretty good, and I was talking to him before the race, and he said, we'll keep it clean on lap 1, but lap 99, everything goes. So try to stay off him as much as I could, but got into him a little bit. But just good, hard racing. And, man, oh, man, what a day. I'm just so thankful for my awesome crew for working hard all day, all my amazing sponsors. APC Auto Parts, Canusa, Quick Wick, AW Millwright, Stewart's Equipment, everyone who supports me. I can't thank them enough. I'm just hyped.
We can tell, Kyle. Congratulations. Awesome run, man. You got a long summer still ahead. Good luck.
Thank you.
Kyle Steckley going to try and keep the wins rolling at him, and a good run for him. We'll get over here and talk to Shea Gemmel, who's standing by talking. They'll come over and shake hands here, and we'll jump in a second after they have a little chat. You know, we'll let them talk it over for a second in here and jump in. Shea, you know, you led that race, man. You're a powerhouse. This is what you wanted to do. Get up front, lead laps. Not the result you were hoping for, obviously, but, man, a great run today. Something you guys, after the luck you've had, can go home and be proud of tonight.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate to race kids like Kyle who are the next generation in the sport, and to give me lots of room. He knew I had a struggling car, so it was just a matter of time. I was blocking him. He got me a couple times, but hey, the kid gave me some room, so obviously he got a lot of respect, even though he's a teammate. But he's still a great kid, great family, and they got a young driver he's going to be going far. But no, this number 3 APC Canusa, Miami Muscle, Ray Cullen. We were really good today, and the boys worked at it. McCall Enterprises gave me a really good car today. They put some long hours on this thing, and then we brought it back to the shop. Did our final touches, and we brought a really good piece today in a show. We led some laps. That was our first time, I think, this year, and we got to be happy with that. And come place second place, we'll take that and move on.
Right on. He got second here tonight. Shea Gemmel, guys. We'll get over here and talk to Danny Benedict. Danny, you know, they were battling there at the end, and you were coming. If they had a yellow or something, might you have had something for this 22 and 3 car tonight?
I don't know. I think I caught them mostly just by happenstance because they were in a bit of lap traffic there. So they were definitely really good. When I got back into third there, I was just trying to save a little bit and hope for that late caution, see if we could save a little bit and maybe make a run at it. But all in all, man, great day for the Mobile One MRE Camaro. Got to thank Epic Racewear for this awesome new suit. GTA Racing Design, Flatheads Design, BMW Enterprises, Annie's Quilt Shop, Dan McCaddy Race Cars, and just everybody for their effort today, man. We did one lap in practice, and we thought we were done. So to be here on the podium at the end, that's a great day for our team.
These are the days that make your season, you know, when you guys have to battle back, drive back to London, get parts, struggle through. Congratulations, and you got the reward you deserve, Danny.
Thank you very much.
Danny Bennick third tonight, guys. Shea Gemmel, a heck of a run, finished a second, and Steckley gets it done. Kyle Steckley in the 22 wins another one here at Flamboro. Guys, take us home.
Jamie, in our intro, we talked about the two sides of Flamboro Speedway. With 2 stops every year for the APC series, quite often you get one very clean race and one very muddy race.
We had 2 good ones here this year.
We had
2 clean ones.
Yeah, 2 really, really solid races. You know, and the drivers did. Obviously, there's some give and take. There's some letting guys a break when things go down, but that's what you have to do with these racetracks, because you're going to see these guys in 2 weeks again. You don't want to have problems every week. Let's look at the full field rundown. Kyle Steckley, Shea Gemmel, Danny Benedict, that was your podium. Points leader J.R. Fitzpatrick, a solid day with a 4th place finish, and Josh Stoddy rounding out the top 5.
Dale Shaw came home 6th, Rick Spencer Walt 7th, Andrew Gressel was 8th, Tom Gibbons wound up 9th, and Gord Shepard came home 10th.
11th through 15th in the finishing order. Matt Pritico, I mean, he worked hard for that 11th place. Jordan House was 12th. Treyton Lapsovich was 13th. Eric Della Riva 14th. Billy Schwarzenberg, after running in the top 5 early on, faded back to 15th.
James Horner finished 16th. Jade Franklin finished 17th. Then you get into the cars that did not finish. The 18th position, Sean Chenoweth. 19th, Ryan Kimball. 20th, Jake Sheridan. And rounding out the field in 21st, Blair Wickett.
All in all, I'd say a great stop at Flamboro Speedway. Our final visit to Flamboro Speedway in 2022. To the race fans here, we thank you so much for coming out tonight. We hope you enjoyed that program. You saw some fantastic racing. For those of you watching this stream, follow us up to the beach. We're going to Sauble Beach in a couple of weeks. It's going to be a fantastic show. We got 2 races there over the next 6 weeks. We got another one at sunset before we head to Delaware Speedway to finish things off later on the season.
Can you believe we're halfway through the summer already?
I don't even want to think about it. I can't believe it. It's been a ton of fun. On behalf of Jamie Mosley, Clinton Jeffrey, Kevin Small, the whole gang at G-Force TV and Flamboro Speedway, I'm Adam Ross. Thanks for joining us here tonight. We look forward to seeing you next time at the races or on G-Force TV.
Copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of G-Force TV. G-Force TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.